Inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Let's kick it.
Yeah, let's kick it.
Let's absolutely kick it. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Christopher Lloyd. And we're here for you. The number 17
I saw that. I was just looking at that.
mid-market radio program in the country.
Sounds like we might need a recount. I was reading the little blurb at the end. We had a really close. What did it read here?
I didn't read the blurb.
I saw the blurb. The closest contests saw Morning Juice and The Drill slip by Dirt and Sprague and Carmichael Dave with Jason Ross.
Yeah, I feel like we should be 14th.
Yeah.
Not 7th.
Well, Morning Juice and The Drill.
Maybe you needed like a name like that.
Dirt and Sprague.
Yeah, Morning Juice, Dirt, and Sprague. Hi, I'm Dirt. I'm Sprague.
Yeah.
The Drill in Jacksonville. Duval. And that's just like David Jason.
So we could have been all the way up to 14th.
Could have been up to 14th.
Who didn't vote for
I
us?
think our all-time high is 13th, isn't it? I think.
I don't know.
I mean, what are we missing that these other shows have? What are they doing, Jason, that we aren't?
Birmingham is number one.
Birmingham, that's a pretty tiny market to be. They must be doing something special.
Well,
What's
McElroy and
who is it?
McElroy and Kubelic?
McElroy and how do you spell Kubelic?
Cubelic.
McElroy and Kubelic. I don't think they're on YouTube. It's just a bunch of Rory McIlroy stuff. What's their station?
I want to say Roy Wood Jr. got to start there.
Really?
Or in Birmingham.
WJOX 94.5. The Jocks.
The Jocks. That's great in Birmingham. What if they talk college football? Do they even stream live? No, they don't.
We got Cleveland in there.
What is this? The Morning Juice on 97.1 Columbus. Okay. I'm gonna find out what I just want a taste of whatever the hell these people
taste
are
of the
doing.
juice.
Yeah, 97.1.
Which number is this?
This is number 14. These are the ones that are ahead of us. Live shows, no, just virtual draft parties. So they're not on YouTube. I mean, how are you going to be ahead of us? You're not even on YouTube.
Oh, Dirt and Sprague. They're out here. They're in Portland.
Right? Dirt and Sprague.
That's what they're eating this morning.
Oh, Dirt and Sprague are on right now. What do we got here? Let's hear. Here's Dirt and Sprague.
Well, first of all, how many of the previous 5 do you remember?
To be totally transparent, 1994-95 Super Bowl of the Chargers. I remember watching it.
Early 80s.
Hold on. I want to sign in here because I want to get in their chat and congratulate them on being number. What are they? Dirt.
They're 15 with a bullet.
Dirt and Sprague.
They're climbing.
Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan in Portland.
And then you got the Drill in Jacksonville.
The Drill in Jacksonville, which
we don't look below us, do we?
We're not messing with those losers.
Mm-mm.
Which is what Dirt and Sprague probably say about us.
Yeah.
All right, so here's back
like
to
that.
Here's back to
Like
Dirt
if
and
anybody
Sprague.
would have beaten Michael Jordan in a final, it probably would have been very similar, right? Of like, oh my God, we conquered that guy.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
If the Jazz got him one of those 2 times,
Dirt
if
and
GP and
Sprague
Rain Man did it,
on
the
being
Blazers pulled it off.
15th.
This is one of those
Wait,
dumb
let's do it for
stats
accuracy.
that I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
think
15th.
should be registered for the player,
15th.
but it will, and people will echo
Best
it throughout the rest of their
mid-market
time.
show.
Did you know this
in
fun fact, Swag?
the
I didn't know this till
country.
Saturday or Sunday.
Which one do you think is dirt?
You know the player that
I think
gave
Dirt's
Patrick
on the
Mahomes
left,
his first
the young
regular
one.
season loss,
Hat backwards.
his first playoff
Yes.
loss, and his first Super
It's
Bowl and
good
only
look.
Super Bowl loss.
We don't know what we are
Who
missing,
beat them in the
but
Super
we
Bowl?
will work
I'm
hard
blanking
Oh,
now.
you know it.
to
He
catch
beat everybody.
you.
Oh, he beat. Oh,
next
TB.
TB12.
There you go.
Tom Brady gave Mahomes his first
looks like
regular
I am
season
the
loss,
first
first playoff
comment.
loss, and only Super Bowl loss.
They've got 17
Now,
watching.
again, I don't think that should be a
Okay.
Tom Brady stat. I think it should be like,
It's trivia.
Does this
hey,
sound
it's
14th?
cool.
Mahomes
to
was
you?
in year
It's a-
2.
It's a party trick.
Yeah, it's a party trick,
15.
but it's also like people
I
are
don't know.
going to use it in arguments. And I'm just going to like, oh, okay.
That's what we're chasing,
All right,
Dave.
we're not going to pretend that Mahomes is, or we're just going to pretend that.
So on one hand, I mean, there's tens of morning shows in the country in the mid market.
Yeah, let me see. There was actually a list there. 48 shows were eligible. So I mean, hey, look, 17th.
It's easily top half, top third, pretty much,
Yeah.
almost. So you know, there's that, and everyone should be proud of that.
Not just
Shut up.
Hmm.
On the other hand, you know, it's gone from 13 to, I think we were 19th one year.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think we were up. But you know, I'd like to break into the top 10.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the guy that runs these is like a friend of the station, Jason Barrett. What, am I not supposed to say that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is he a friend of the station?
Oh, that's a great point. Is he really a friend of the station? I mean, how I guess he's better friends with Dirt and Sprague.
See? Maybe it's his ranking. Claims it's others that are voting. Who's voting on this?
Who is
I,
that?
at one time, Carmichael Dave, you know I was a program director.
Yeah.
I was never asked to vote in any of these things.
Interesting.
So it's like, hey,
Interesting.
all the I don't know, college football announcers are voting in this poll. I'm not voting.
You
in
never
this poll.
voted.
All these program directors are voting. I didn't. I would have stacked the ballot box. Now I'm no longer a program director. But
Still, you were program director for a while.
yeah,
Very
but in that
smooth
time,
brain.
never got a chance to vote on
Not
this stuff.
once.
Yeah, I went to said seminars, and you know,
You've been to his convention
all right,
thing,
yeah,
and you never got a vote.
nope.
So who does vote on these? Probably says in there, but I'm too lazy to read. And Chris Verlod's never voted, correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that
If
he's
he did,
aware
he
of.
probably didn't help us.
Yeah, probably. He probably would have voted for Juice and
Oh, he's a
Dirt.
big guy for them.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, we have something to chase. But if we're going, are we going? You said we're going up, or are we going the other way?
I think we went up this year.
From
I think
last
we were
year?
19th.
Oh,
last
okay,
year.
good. Because if we were going the other way, then it's like maybe we might have one more year of the top 20, and then we're forgotten.
Well, apparently we were 2 votes away from being 14th.
True.
And that would have been a 5-place jump, which would have been the biggest jump in the whole thing,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Maybe we need to make campaign stickers and stuff.
Vote.
Go out to
yes.
different,
Yes.
PDs, go meet with them, take an RV.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Wrap it. In
Have you ever done that?
No, but I'm game.
Okay.
Wrap it in Sactown sports colors.
Yeah, get
Go-
them to sign it.
Yes, get them to sign it. Go to all the different cities where these alleged voters are. Meet with them and just have like best of clips.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Friday fun and games.
Right.
Maybe a Greg Pappas snippet.
Probably the end of the yesterday's show.
Easily.
Take a shower with a friend.
Shower
day.
with a friend day.
I mean, that's top 10.
Are Dirt and Sprague doing that? I don't think they are.
Right.
They're talking about Michael Jordan. Well, that's
Not even Michael B. Jordan.
no. The Stephen Clay of mid-market morning shows. That's us. Oh, Jess went into the Dirt and Sprague chat.
Oh, well, Jess has got our back. We know
Jess,
that.
we know Jess has our back. being nice. It's not on them. I mean,
No.
we're
rooting for them just to be.
We're trying to learn from them.
Yeah.
Hey, also, I have a question about our Super Bowl coverage. So I was looking at Emil's stuff from last night.
Yeah, he was one of thousands of people apparently there.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw his last one was, now I guess it's 6 hours ago. But he goes, where is it here? Incredible first day here in Vegas. Overwhelmed, yes, but so appreciative to be here covering the 49ers at the Super Bowl. Got a little tied up visiting with family after opening night, but I'll have content for you all in the morning. All right. I mean, did we send him down there to hang out with his family, or did we send him down there to produce content?
Maybe he's the 49ers outsider.
Wow. Jiffy Lube, bringing you an opportunity for a meal to chill with his family. That's interesting. Also, why aren't these schmoes coming? Are they? They're coming on with us this week. I hope more. We should be having them on like every day. I think.
Oh, Styles and Watkins?
Well, Styles and Watkins won't talk to us because they're too busy.
They're going to be recording. They're going to be busy.
Busy recording. Whatever.
Emil's going to be joining us tomorrow, allegedly.
If he's not too busy hanging out with family.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying. I feel like we should. It's just you send the kids down. You want to make sure they're not just going down to party and hang out.
Right.
Hey, this isn't a sightseeing tour.
Right.
Okay. This is work.
This is the biggest game of the year.
This is.
Is it a must win?
Yeah, I would. You know what? I was going to say something clever, but honestly, who would not say something clever and give a right answer there? Dirt or Sprague.
Right.
So I'm going to say yes, it's a must win.
Yeah.
Jason. And honestly, I think the Super Bowl coverage everyone's going to provide down there. I think the grade on that is how much do they bring this show?
Mm-hmm.
That should really be the,
we've got to move up this top 20.
That's the thing.
We'll see how the other shows are in. I hope they're in the top 20, but we'll see.
Dirt and Sprague wouldn't jive with them with their midday and afternoon shows.
Expectations.
Dirt and Sprague would put up with no cross talking.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing that we're not going. Like you and I graciously stepped aside.
We understand
for the good of the station.
Right.
But if we're not going, then we need I know they're flying down today, but I maybe we even give them a day, but gall darn it. Thursday, Friday, there better be interviews for us to replay during our show. There better be content that we can take from other people to take up time on this program so we don't have to work.
Yeah.
There better be. Unless unless they're busy with family.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Is Brendan on the trip? He's not on the trip,
No.
right?
He and Frankie are back here covering Kings and trade deadline stuff. If stuff like that happens.
From the 209, trash talk already. It's Alabama, guys. They don't have anything but college football. No baseball, no NHL, no NBA. Maybe Titans. It's college ball and tractor pulls and hunting and fishing. Wow.
That's why they're number one?
Apparently, they break down tractor pulls like no one else.
Well, this has also been voted on probably in the last month or two. So right at the peak of college football season.
Oh,
right? Is that why they're flourishing?
Great point. Alabama was in it.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be a ratings thing because our ratings are as good as better than they've been in God knows how long. It's best ratings on this station since Christ left Chicago. Well, I don't know what year that was, by the way he left, but well, you know what? Number 13, number 19, number 15, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're still going to give you one humdinger of a show today.
Bingo.
Yeah. We got to change our clocks. I was at 1 minute. I'm trying to be good here, but
we're way over.
That's what I said.
Okay. That's me saying wrap it up.
Okay.
And then when you really need to wrap it up, I say wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Then it's gotta go.
It's gotta go.
With a anger to it.
They're not late for breaks on, I'm going to say Ed and Sprague all day, and I can't do that. Sean Salisbury at 8:13. We got Niners at 9 with sound from opening night in Vegas. Ryan Leaf. I love that. Thank you, Jay Johnson. That's at 9:27. I'm actually really looking forward to talking to him. He is a story. He has been around, and I wonder how tired he is of being asked questions about either being a bust in the draft or his issues off the field.
You can ask him either of those?
I'm going to ask him both. So okay. we'll do that. And we'll go over last night's loss to the Cavs. Hey, Jason. It's fine.
You sure?
Not 1% upset. 1%. Not 1%.
Highly suspect.
Not even 0.5% upset.
Who are you?
I am not spraying and dirt. I am Carmichael Dave, and I'm here to talk to you about my friends at American Energy. I was off key, now I'm on key. Let's talk about them. Woo! I should do the Super Bowl halftime show. $49 furnace tune-up and the safety inspection. You can get that today at American Energy Heating and Air, where their goal, what is their goal? Their goal is to exceed your expectations that you may or may not have in the heating and air industry by valuing now the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. Now, here's what the tune-up and safety inspection can do for just $49. Well, it can prevent a gas leak. Those aren't great. It can extend the life of your furnace. It can save on your energy bills. That's really the big boy there. Save on your energy bills. It's not a sales call. They're not going to try to shoehorn in a bunch of crap. Just call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990. It's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. We will take a break when we come back. Well, we got sound for you today. Also, forgot the Las Vegas mayor. She doesn't understand the A's thing either. We've got audio from that, but we will lead it off with Kings and Niners next.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Dials, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Okay, dribbles the line, gets the screen from Allen to the free throw line, fakes the entry pass, now spins up and under off the glass, and he whips it down. He fed a pass to himself, and that's as good as it gets right there for Donovan Mitchell. Just outstanding. Crowd loved it, and why not?
Cheater. Throw a pass to yourself.
That's a travel and a double dribble.
Yeah, and illegal offense. 10 shots in the ball.
Illegal offense.
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
10 shots in the ball.
And 15 points for the Kings.
100.
Look at rule 2.
01C.
I don't think the 10 free throw shots would help them much.
10 threes.
Deal with that on dirt and spray. Yeah, Kings lose to the Cavs. This was I mean, look.
You want to have a parade.
On one hand,
you're happy.
Well, I'm not like, yay, they lost, but I'm not upset.
Okay.
I'm not.
I have it as the Walodi. It's weird. We flip roles.
This is the worst loss of the year.
I'm so furious.
2D Mitchells played in this game. It's a little confusing in the box score.
It was better.
Well, I mean, it depends. Davion Mitchell had 2 points and 3 assists with 0 turnovers in just 9 minutes.
I like that.
So if you
like
go,
that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's and meanwhile, Donovan Mitchell missed 9 shots.
See,
yeah, exactly. This was a we want to go home game. De'Aaron Fox had 19 points in 35 minutes, and all 5 starters in double figures. So on one hand, I go, by the way, Harrison Barnes 8 of 15 for 22. Very nice night. On one hand, I go, you know what? They're tired. They want to come home. It's just not there. They went 5-2 on the trip. I will tell you, there is only one thing that bothers me.
Okay.
Only one thing. And it's not the loss itself.
What's that?
This Domantas Sabonis playing 34 minutes and having 12 points, 19 boards, and 15 assists.
That bothers you?
It bothers me in the sense that, you know what? He shows up every night.
Oh, yeah.
He's been on the same road trip. That's tired.
Yeah, I guess that's my question. Did you feel like they didn't show? I felt like they really did compete, and I thought actually they played fairly well. They got hit with a blitz, like one of those things. The Cavs were really sharp.
I actually think I appreciate you clarifying my point. I'm not upset with them like they didn't show up. Sabonis.
Yeah, like they played worse at Memphis, but they won.
Far worse at Memphis
and
won. And honestly, I think if they played the way they played last night in all 49 of their games, they'd probably be 29-20, which is what they are right now.
Yeah.
Like there would be some games they've lost this year that if they played the way they did last night, I think they would have won. By the way, perhaps against Miami on this very trip.
Yeah.
They were fine. They weren't the best.
Right.
It was just 12 free throws, but still 58%.
Yeah.
Let's get it started. And by the way, remember the other night, and it was, what was it? De'Aaron Fox is the only player on the team to shoot free throws. It was a couple games ago, right?
Yeah. Not one starter.
Not one starter.
Not one starter.
One starter shot a free throw.
Yeah.
Shot a free throw at all. Either way, the Kings stayed with them. And then the Cavs pulled away in the end for a 26-point victory. The Kings are 29-20. They go to 15-12 on the road. They will return against Detroit, and let's just get that win. I don't care if it's by 2. I don't care if it's by 30. There will be no whining from me if they beat the Pistons by any points.
Okay, good.
I get that first. If you're going to be on a long road trip, it's best to come home and play the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing, and they just need to get the stinking win.
And there's, it'll be interesting for several reasons. They've been home for a while, but also that weird feeling of if they could make a trade before that game. Also, is it the last game that some people play?
Oh.
Man,
just
don't know.
We just don't know. Meanwhile, number 2, please.
Cut number 2. Well, last week, the 49ers sent their maintenance and grounds crew to Las Vegas just to check out the facilities, some advanced work. And it became a concern then because UNLV doesn't have grass practice fields. They have artificial turf practice fields. And what they did was merely lay natural sod over that. So that created the conditions. And the 49ers felt like it was very much unique to what they practice on. So that raised some red flags right away.
I mean, the fact that it was spongy and bouncy could have been an issue injury-wise. And now they could have had the possibility of practicing at the Raiders facility, alternating with the Chiefs who are practicing there. But it turns out that looks like they're going to make use of the UNLV field.
Yeah, as we heard from Roger Goodell earlier, the NFL has checked out the field. They say it's good to go.
Okay, well, there's one tiny implication in there. Did it not sound to you like the Niners are being given the opportunity to share the field?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they selected.
And they're saying no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then
can't be that bad.
Then that kills the whole thing for me. Then that's not an issue.
They chose it.
Now,
if that's all true,
assuming they have because that was the big thing is, well, why can't you just split it with the Chiefs? And God forbid. Sorry, I had to knock a lot. God forbid somebody gets injured, a consequence.
Yeah, and now to the point that this story already came out. If someone got hurt, which again, God forbid, won't everybody blame it on that?
Yes.
And if that's because of that, sure, but it doesn't matter. You're right.
It could be a torn eardrum, and you'll be like, well, it's the bouncy field.
Yeah.
Like, just why take the chance? Just alternate. But again, if the Niners, here's my thing: if the Niners have the opportunity to share the field, and they're saying no, then that tells me that the field's probably fine, and they're doing Shanahan's doing the whole they don't respect us. Yeah. They don't respect us.
We're only the home team.
Right.
We got to get here on the right years.
Are the Chiefs the home team at the Raiders Stadium? That's so weird.
It.
All right, cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
You mentioned Brazil. Brazil is new for us this year. We are incredibly excited. We're going to do it on our kickoff weekend, which is an unusual approach and different than we've ever done. We actually are going to play it on Friday night of our kickoff weekend. So we'll have Thursday night as our kickoff game. Friday night we'll come back from Brazil in Sao Paulo. the Philadelphia Eagles will be the host team in Sao Paulo. And then we'll come back with Sunday night and Monday night, and obviously a good group of games on Sunday afternoon with our two partners. So,
Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday night, Monday night, opening weekend.
Well, it's just
does football work on different nights of the week?
I just imagine if it was like I'm sitting here thinking, well, what if it was the Niners? I would be apoplectic. I would be so pissed off
because
you're going to Brazil for opening night. You're playing on a Friday, and you're expected to come back and play the following Sunday.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, first off,
the Niners could play them.
Huh?
We don't know what the schedule.
That's a great point. Better not.
Yeah.
Better not.
But if the Niners were to win on Sunday, then they're playing on that Thursday night, aren't they? It's almost always the Super Bowl champ.
Oh God. No, but they're playing. But didn't they say Philly's playing Friday?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're
like
playing Thursday.
Lost.
Yeah, but they're not playing halfway around. I think people don't realize like how far it is to Brazil. Like it is far. I think it's
south.
Isn't it like 12 hours from? It's weird. You have to like fly to. Well, I mean, at least Philly's on the East Coast, and they go basically like I think straight down for like
they're busing.
Like that is
Hey, fly Eagles fly.
Do it in preseason. Do it in preseason.
Is it what you said? How long is the flight?
I want to say. Let's see.
I mean, what's the flight from San Francisco to London?
9 hours.
Yeah, 9.
It's not San Francisco to London's 9 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And Germany, wasn't there Germany games this year?
Yes. Hold on, San Francisco to London. Well, no, San Francisco to it was 11 hours.
No.
Yes, it's nonstop. I just did it. It was to Dublin.
Yeah.
Which isn't even England yet.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
I've done the trip several times.
In 9 hours.
Chris has a faster plane.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I wasn't going private.
Well, I wasn't going private either. I was on Aer Lingus. Aer Lingus.
Oh, that's your problem.
Because it's a slower Irish airline. Yeah, Aer Lingus, San
Too
Francisco.
many potatoes.
We're filled with potatoes.
It was San Francisco to Dublin was
heavy with starch.
11 exact. And then we had, I think, $1.25 to Manchester.
So what's the difference between that and Brazil?
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't want to do that either.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't want to do that. Yes, and by the way, also, if you are going to do that, then do it where you can throw a bye week behind it.
Well, wouldn't it make it easier, at least if it's week 1, like it's the first, there's no rhythm to the season yet?
On the front end, yes, because they can just go down whenever. But my issue is game 2 because they're going to have to, they're going to get done with that game Thursday. Then they're going to fly, or Friday, sorry. Then they'll get back on the weekend. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Like they'll have, days to
They're
prepare.
back by Sunday.
But I feel like you should automatically, if you're going out of the country for
maybe
a
they
game,
play Monday night.
that would be amazing.
Well, there's another team though. They can't both play Monday night.
You mean the following? Well, no, what would be awesome is they played that Monday night.
Yeah. No, but they did the double Monday nights last year in week 2. Maybe they'll do that for each of those teams.
Give them something.
Yeah.
Give them something. I mean, I'm sitting here feeling bad for the Eagles.
Yeah.
San Francisco to London is 10 hours.
Okay.
London to San Francisco is 11 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be longer on the way back, but hold on. Okay, we got to go. But
so he said 9, you said 11.
Dude, look
up
10. Just how is it 10 hours from San Francisco to London, but exactly 11? I mean, literally 11 hours and 0 minutes. I will never forget it, is what it said, what it was from San Francisco to Dublin, which is west of, I guarantee you, if you look up the Aer Lingus, look up San Francisco to Dublin, and you're going to find the nonstop flight. It'll say 11 hours. From
10 hours and 5 minutes.
Are you serious? Well, why was mine 11? I'll show you. I swear on my kids, it was 11 hours straight. So that is weird. It's like the winds.
Maybe they tell you it's 11. So when it takes, the late departing, and we always make it on time. It's like airlines fudge that a little.
Well,
bit.
honestly, on the way back, we had like 180 mile an hour. What's the good one? The tailwind. Maybe it was 180 kilometers an hour, but it was
probably not coming back.
Wrong. No, it was. This time
really?
It was coming back. Yeah, because we came all the way through, and we actually came down in Montana. Like you don't fly straight. You fly up to like the Greenland and stuff.
But the Earth was flat.
And then now we're gonna get letters when we come back. The Kings losing the Cavs. Yeah, I know it's very confusing.
Where are you?
Highlights and stuff coming up next.
The NFC champion San Francisco 49ers will get their chance at revenge when they face the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58.
Jimmy going to throw a deep shot into double coverage. It's intercepted by Fuller, and that will be it. The Kansas City Chiefs will win their first Super Bowl.
Reed versus Shanahan. Purdy versus Mahomes. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. It's Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th.
And it's on your home for the National Football League, Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my friends at Fire Wings talking about Wings Day Wednesday. That's right, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. 3-flavor lineup includes 7 classic, 7 dry rub, and 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to watch and enjoy sports with friends. 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Save time. Order online for pickup or delivery. Just go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you. Order online. Earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense, can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Here's Sabonis now at the top of the circle. Drives it to the left, stops, gives to Barnes. Harrison hesitates, steps back. He'll try for three. He scores the triple. Suddenly, it's a three-point slugfest here in Cleveland. Kings on top by 2 at 28-26.
And that's how it would end. Kings win.
Yeah, don't need to hear anymore.
Kings win. Kings win. The Kings win. Yeah, well, except for Matt Strus.
High window too strong. Back tap goes to Donovan Mitchell. Shovels left wing to Garland. Garland with a drive and a kick. Strus steps into another three, and you knew it was coming. It was right there. 85-69. Timeout taken by Mike Brown and Sacramento.
Is Matt Strus a Lorenzen Wright all-star? R.I.P. He averages 12.5 points a game, and he had 22 last night.
He had a heck of a game.
And
Ripped
he
Sabonis a couple times underneath.
Yes.
And he had rebounds.
Who was it? TJ McConnell?
Yes.
We need to start keeping track of these guys. Max Strus, TJ McConnell.
Kings killers.
Kings killers.
Kill us.
Donovan Mitchell's good too.
Here's Herter driving left angle, feeds the pass back out to Fox, touch pass to Keegan in the corner for three, missed it, and the rebound is cleared. Mobley on the run. Ahead to Mitchell, look out, power jam! Oh my goodness! Cavalier fans loving that, and there was a lot to love. That was spectacular. Talk about a statement. Donovan Mitchell having himself a ball game. He's got 24.
You know, like when we watch the Kings at their best, and you kind of go, man, you could see what's right when everything's clicking, when all the starters are good, Monk, Lyles are good, they're sharing the ball. Like last night, to me, I just looked like a terrific version of the Cavs. You could see interior defense, what Allen and Mobley can be. Mitchell by himself is just a superstar. And then spread the floor with shooters, and if they're making it, like that's a really good version of the Cavs. I don't know what kind of damage they could do in the East, but the Kings got a good punch from them, that's for sure.
To your point, I was looking at the box score after the game. And Evan Mobley had 11 points, 14 boards, 7 assists, couple of steals, a block on 5 of 12.
Yeah.
And I was like, 5 of 12? Hold on. Why do I feel like Evan Mobley was like 16 of 20 for 30 points?
Yeah.
I felt like every time he got the ball, he was just owning Sabonis.
Yeah.
Now. Like, he's a good player.
Yes, he is.
And he and Allen, you're right. Even they've got guys on the bench like Karis LeVert, they're a deep team. They're coached well.
Well, and with the win, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think by percentage points, they went to second.
Yeah, they're in second right now.
So, I mean, that's a really good team that the Kings had beaten 3 times in a row. Beat them earlier this year, played really well when they beat them. So, again, I'm kind of glad the Kings were already 5-1. It would have been great to be 6-1, but overall a great trip. It's just they got hit by a team that has been playing the best in basketball and played really well last night.
They're 5 back of the Celtics, so assuming that'll stay, and who knows. But you've got the Pacers at 6. It's too early for them. The Sixers just lost Embiid.
Yeah.
The Knicks, I mean, they're super hot, but is it super sustainable for them enough to catch everyone? And then Doc Rivers just took over the Bucks.
Yeah.
And the Bucks are tied with them games-wise, but as you said, the Cavs are 0.07% ahead of the Bucks. Just real quick, can we just acknowledge again that Doc Rivers is going to coach the East All-Stars based on the fact that Adrian Griffin got them there?
Yeah.
And I'm not even look, obviously for them to fire Adrian Griffin, there must have been whatever, but I feel like it's getting swept under the rug that the number that wait a minute, hold on. Oh, it's because the Celtics can't do it 2 years
Correct.
ago. Okay, that just hit me. That the Bucks were good enough to be the 2 seed. They fire their rookie coach that they just signed, and they bring in Doc Rivers, who already, not once, but in 2 games, has done demonstrably terrible things that have not helped them win.
Yeah.
Like, what
He's
are
your Eastern Conference All-Star coach.
Woof. I mean, to his credit, he at least said that Griffin was going to get a.
That's what he says. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
What's up, Doc?
yeah. What's up, Doc? Let's see one more
Now
here.
he's Glenn Rivers.
Yeah, he's not Doc anymore. He failed that test. Here's HB.
Davion Mitchell is checked in to spell Fox. Sabonis is back on the floor now. Takes a feed from Davion. Hands the ball off to Harrison Barnes. In rhythm for 3. And he scores his 6th three-pointer in 10 attempts tonight. 22 points for the Falcon. And we're back now to a 12-point game at 111-99.
That's probably been the best thing from this road. Like Harrison, I think, had one, what I would say is clunker. Other than that, he's been really good. And if he stays a King, if he plays like that the rest of the way, that would be exciting to see.
Yes, if he can play, it's almost like you did get somebody at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
You got Harrison Barnes.
A good version of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll take that. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got audio from Super Bowl Media Day Part 1. Don't forget, we've got a whole crew down there picking up fun stuff. SactownSports.com, and, of course, all our Twitter handles and they'll get all the video and audio you could possibly want. Greg Papa on Friday, he will join us. Matt Barrows was with us yesterday. And today, Sean Salisbury and Ryan Leaf.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good day. We'll get some audio for you next.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
We're from Washington. We love Febrez's new scent. Refresh and energize.
So much we made a song about it.
I can't escape this feeling inside. Refresh and energize. It's a mood. It's a vibe. Breathing for the first time. So free, so alive. Breathe happy for free. Smells like paradise. Breathe happy for
Hi, I'm Jade, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is the savoriness of the sausage, the fluffiness of the egg, and the butteriness of the biscuit. It's amazing. The perfect start to my day.
Hi, everyone. It's Justin. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is the fluffy egg, the melted cheese, and the sizzling sausage. It's the start to your morning that you didn't know you need.
Order a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Maida Subaru says yes during the huge President's Day sales event on Now. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to awesome lease offers. Yes to great trade-in values. Yes to huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Subarus in stock ready to go. Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, Ascent, WRX, and more. All with huge Maida Says Yes savings. The President's Day sales event is on. Stop by Maida Subaru today or visit MaidaSubaru.com and click the Unlock Maida Says Yes savings button to unlock your savings on the card you want today. Whatever you choose, you're going to save big during the President's Day sales event on Now at Maida Subaru. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to attractive lease offers. Yes to exceptional trade-in values. Yes to great selection. Over 300 new and certified pre-owned Subarus available. The huge President's Day sales event on Now at Maida Subaru. MaidaSubaru.com.
Approved premium credit 1.9 financing on new 2024 Outback.
Made a great deal of Maida.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sactown Sports.
All right, Super Bowl Media Week started in earnest Yeah, he wasn't happy about that yesterday.
Ernest saves media night.
Ernest would have been great. I haven't seen anything yet, but to be very fair, I haven't looked that hard as to like who showed up in a Speedo, who did the thing.
Emil.
I mean, hey.
Matt George was there. It was him.
Is Matt George down there?
Yeah.
Matt would definitely do that.
Dork.
Don't need Luca. Performs it live.
Double down.
Let's see. Here's we got a lot of stuff for you. Where do we want to start? How about Jason Roger Goodell on gambling and integrity?
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Well, it's our number one objective. You know, when this is true, gambling and outside of gambling, right? The integrity of our game is critical. And so we spend a lot of time focusing on that, educating, making sure that all of our personnel are aware of our gambling policies in this case, or any other policy that can affect the integrity of our game. So ultimately, that's our primary job. This week coming in here, we wanted to make sure not just the two teams, but every other club will likely have representatives here. We wanted to make sure they understood it, our league staff and everyone else, so they understood exactly what the policies were. And they all understand the importance of it. We clarified our policy earlier this year, and it was to...
Okay, that's weird. Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah,
Is that
blah.
more taboo than anything?
Gambling?
I mean, honestly, if you found out after the fact that someone from a team was betting on their own team, do you personally find that as an issue? Like, to me, the issue is if I'm a player on said team and I'm betting against us, because I feel like I could do something to hurt our... If I'm betting on our team to win, I hope I'm trying to win anyway, but now are you trying hard? What's...
I think it's worse to bet against your team than on your team,
because that's where I feel like you could do some things to impact that. But if you're betting on your team to win, I know it's not allowed, but what would be the
problem?
Look?
I think yes, the look. But I think the bigger problem here, too, the pageant fabric of our lives.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. I think the bigger problem is that if you're betting on your team to win, the better one, that means you're betting. And if you're betting, that means you're eventually going to be losing. And I think the big problem here is the pending vulnerability of a lot of, just because you're making millions of dollars doesn't mean you can't be $10 million in debt with your wife and kids and whatever. And then, Gambler Joe, bookie guy, comes up to you and is like, look, you owe me $15 million.
Right.
And we don't play around.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I just want to show you this. Your daughter Jenny and your son Frankie go to this school, and here's some pictures of them yesterday. We're going to murder them,
right?
And we're going to throw them in the river unless you help us out in the next game. Well, and I think I think the conversation needs to get dark.
FanDuel is getting crazy.
I think it needs to get dark because that's not like some movie thing. Eventually, some second string receiver, somebody is going to get got. And they're going to put them, gambling is an addiction.
Yeah.
They're going to put themselves in a spot where they have a ton of debt. You can't exactly go to people and be like, hey, I've been betting on football, so I need some help here. It's not like you can do that. And oh, by the way, if you do that, you're probably going to a shark.
Right.
And now you've got the shark, and now it piles up, and you've got a choice. They know where your kids are going to school. You're in debt to the wrong people. So are you gonna think twice if they're asking you maybe to, run the wrong route, drop something in the end zone, do what you can do?
Yeah, that's how my fantasy league goes. It's that intense.
You think that's too dark, Chris?
Yes.
Do? But is it unrealistic to you?
Yes.
Why? Tell me.
What do you mean, why?
No, I'm saying tell me why that's unrealistic that an athlete could get in gambling debt and he could have his family threatened.
You're putting a lot of variables into people going into dark places that doesn't usually happen.
Usually people don't get threatened over gambling debts.
I think you're thinking of movies when people get threatened over.
In real life, they don't.
I think there are, but it's very, 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 very rare.
You're basing this on
just my
intuition.
Just
thought.
It would take a lot of legwork to get into that situation.
I think you would be an addict that is losing money and is trying to make it all back in one fell swoop. And all it takes is a couple of those. And next thing you know, depending on the levels you're betting, you're looking at, 2-3 milli.
So like I said, it's going to take a lot of legwork to get into the situation that you're talking
I
about.
hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's not like we haven't heard of people that have been dealt with because of their gambling debts. Like, it's not like I'm making that up. It's not like that's just Goodfellas. Like,
that is Goodfellas.
But I'm saying it's not like it's just Goodfellas. Like, it's a thing.
But you're making it out like it's a regular thing.
No, I'm making it
just like
no. What I'm saying is all it takes is one. All it takes is one or even two. Do you truly believe that over the next 10 years we're not going to have a major league sports athlete come out compromised due to gambling?
I think we've had athletes compromised by gambling before.
100%. And with the advent of gambling being,
I would say that making gambling legal makes it harder to get in that situation.
Because Johnny FanDuel is not going to come after you.
Yeah.
I think the advent of these.
Well, and Johnny FanDuel has limitations, right?
Johnny FanDuel ain't hiring, hitmen and stuff.
Well, also, I don't know
that.
I honestly don't know the answer, but I don't know what the limit on a bet is.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm pretty sure you can't get credit.
Yeah,
if the limit is let's say it's 1,000. I don't know, 1,000. Well, not saying you can't get it, but
sure.
Like they won't accept your bet anymore if you're not paid the first 1,000.
Well, you've got your FanDuels and you're basically your retail betting.
Right.
Okay. For guys like you and me and, middle-aged mom and dad who are just trying to make a few bucks on the weekend, you can get in trouble doing that. Sure. Trouble meaning you can lose money doing that for sure.
Yeah.
But
gambler.
I also think when you're talking about your high-end gamblers, like the ones that literally make a living off this thing, that's not going through FanDuel.
Yeah.
That's going through,
Yeah. Speaking of that, I know, the guys that are going to Vegas, Styles and Watkins, they're talking to Calvin Ridley. It's one of these days.
Calvin Ridley.
Oh, some
compromised.
Some loan shark got him.
I actually don't know what happened. And Calvin Ridley just bet
on himself.
On himself, yeah.
No, he bet on the team when he was injured. Right? Is that it?
I think something like that. And I think it was through one of those sites, if I'm not mistaken, like FanDuel or something. I think.
Crap, we're getting off thingy here. I wanted to get to this. It's see, just so you know, we get this audio, right? And in the audio, it'll give you an option, like, for example, every single one. I just want to point this out. Chris, you could verify this by looking at it. Every single one it'll have two answers for Roger Goodell. It'll have Q&A, meaning including the question and then the answer. Taylor Swift, you can either play the question and answer or just his answer. Taylor Swift again, two options. Okay. And then you go all the way down. The only one I wanted the Q for the Q&A was on the lack of improvement in diversity in NFL media. And the Q is not there. So what you hear is Roger Goodell saying this.
We are not satisfied where we are. We think that diversity is very good for us as a league. It's made us better. It gives opportunities to talented people. I think the hiring cycle was obviously encouraging from the head coaching standpoint. As you point out, we don't look at this just in the coaching level or offensive coordinators. We look at this across the board. We look at this from coaching to ownership to presidents to general managers, and we've seen extraordinary progress in all of that.
I want the question.
Oh, you want the question?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Because
I'm out of Kansas City. I've had dreams of
me. Oh, that is me. I'm sorry. I want the question because Jim Trotter was no longer there this year, and so I don't know the gentleman's name who asked, and I should, and I apologize for that in Trotter's place. But he asked the question, and I thought it was a really good way to put it. And I also thought that, and let me see if this audio is right here for y'all.
When I say I'm out of Kansas City, so I've had dreams of working for the NFL Network one day. But be that as it may, I know that you don't run the NFL media newsroom, but you do run the NFL, and they answer to you along with the 32 owners. As of this press conference, the NFL media newsroom still employs 0 black managers, 0 black copy editors, 0 full-time black employees on the news desk, and your only full-time black employee, Larry Campbell, passed away over the weekend. Now, Mr. Trotter, Jim Trotter, was not here, for whatever reason. Over the last few years, has asked you why that is the case. And for a league that has more than 60% African Americans that play the game, and I know that you're a man of conscience, how does knowing this sit well with you, and after 2 years of being asked this question, why has it not been any change or any hirings in that area?
Well, I disagree completely with you. There hasn't been any change. I'm happy to get your data and share it with our people and make sure that we get an answer for you.
I'm going to let him finish. I'm going to let him finish that. But, thank you. Thank you, Chris. I'm sorry. I was out of context. Thank you. He was sending me the name. That was Darren Smith from KLKC who was asking the question. Thank you for that, Chris. I'm going to let Roger finish because I think he says something that's actually important. But after the hullabaloo with the Trotter question last year, this is the 3rd year in a row he's been asked this question. How does he not have the data, at least basic numbers? You know what? I appreciate the question.
Here's what my research says.
Here's what, I wanted to update you on this. How does the commissioner of the NFL not have, I'm going to get you that info off. Are you? Yeah. Are you really? I'd love to see it. Here's the rest of his answer.
Don't have all the data. I will tell you that the first time ever, 51% of our employees across the league, across the network, across all of our media platforms, not including players, are either people of color or women. First time ever.
Okay. That seems relevant. I mean, look, I'm no Roger Goodell fan. I'm certainly not defending the fact that your entire NFL media landscape, at least according to the gentleman asking the question, has not one person of color there. That's ridiculous. That being said, the NFL, not including players, is 51% women and minority. I feel like that should be a bigger story.
So he has that data.
That's exactly right.
What's the?
I want to see
on the separation of that number,
and I really want to see that. I want to see the data breakdown.
What you considered
that's I want to see. Doesn't it seem a little weird that the National Football League, this is important, not including players, coaches, and the athletic staff, is 51% women and minorities, and that was just a random. How would the NFL? I find it incredibly strange that the NFL wouldn't be running commercial spots during games touting the fact that they're 51% women and minorities. So we'll just wait on the follow-up there because something smells hinky in Denmark. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a phrase.
Made it one.
We'll take a break. When we come back, the Eagles are opening in Brazil. We'll update you on the Niners and the soft field. We got a lot more Super Bowl audio, and including Kyle Shanahan somewhere in there. Also, Patrick Mahomes on who his NBA comparison would be. Wonder what he says. We'll find out next.
The Sacramento Kings return home to host the Detroit Pistons.
Fox digs into the paint. He twists. He launches. He scores.
It's the Kings and Pistons.
Wednesday at 7 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball. Sactown Sports.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. there is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more, up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
In the NFC Championship game, you guys beat up on the Detroit Lions. They have a wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, he's famous for knowing all the 16 wide receivers that got drafted before him. All right? There were 8 quarterbacks that got drafted before you. Can you name them and what school they went to?
No, I'm not. Yeah, honestly, I'm not that kind of guy. I know a couple of guys that got drafted before me, but I've never held a grudge for it or anything. I'm a believer that, God has a plan for everybody, and I fell last for a reason. And so I haven't held any grudges against other teams. It all happened how it needed to, and I'm blessed to be part of the 49ers.
Good answer.
Isn't that kind of the answer you expect? I don't know. Everybody was drafted ahead of me.
What if he just started listing every single quarterback?
Dude,
He goes, I don't just have the quarterbacks. I have every single player.
Yeah, all of them.
And he listed them all.
Every single one, because I was picked last in the draft.
He's a robot.
You know what would be really easy? What year was he drafted? 20
years ago.
Yeah, 2022, 21. So they asked him, well, who was drafted ahead of you? He's like, the 2022 NFL draft. That's who was drafted ahead of me. Literally every single person. Hey,
to be fair, though, he was drafted ahead of all of the 2023 draft picks.
That's a great point.
A full year ahead of him.
He was
ahead of his time.
He was drafted ahead of Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
USC.
Okay, a lot of picks ahead of him.
Mm-hmm. Chris, you're getting dragged on the text line, by the way.
Oh no,
for your gambling takes.
By one person, or
no? I that's the first thing I looked at too. Is one guy. It happens in boxing. We're talking about athletes being compromised. This guy or girl says, I've legitimately had my life threatened over financial debts. People getting dealt with happens all the time. I know somebody who got dealt with because they were bad-mouthing a timeshare in Vegas.
I don't know why I laughed. Sorry.
Check out Michael Friends says he wrote a book called Blood Covenant. He's a former New York mobster and capo of the Colombo crime family and son of former underboss John Franzese. I hope I'm getting that right. His specialty was athlete sports betting and leverage. To be fair, I'm not going to be that guy who's like, see, 3 guys. But I think
you just did.
I think I'm trying to bring it home. I think the answer lies somewhere between what I'm saying and what you're saying. I truly do. I do think there's a ground, and my worry, and I hope it's wrong, because here's the point. Here's the best argument against what I'm saying, what you're kind of saying, is look at all the years there's been gambling. How many of these have we really had? Legitimately. And now that you're legitimizing gambling, again, to your point, Johnny FanDuel isn't going to be waiting outside your house. Well, that's the best argument against what I'm saying is the more legitimate it gets, the more, you could legally go after somebody and be like, Jason, you owe me $1 million and I'm going to bankrupt you and take your assets and debt. Whereas before, a little difficult to do that when the whole thing's illegal in the first place.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're going through a site,
right,
there's a paper trail, credit card, whatever. And then as opposed to, hey, I know a guy. And then you're going through, hey, I know a guy and you're paying. Yeah, that gets a little bit shadier.
It's just a little hinky when you're introducing this thing, not introducing it, but embracing gambling. And you're just thinking, well, all the athletes they'll be fine. It's not going to be a thing.
Well, and that's why the NFL, I mean, again, I'm sure, and Roger Goodell said, we frown upon it, we educate and all that, but yeah, not every commercial, FanDuel, DraftKings, they put the point spread now up. That's not taboo. Announcers talk about it. It's not taboo.
Yeah.
Over-unders, the whole thing, I know we'll do it before the end of the week, prop bets. I mean, that's the whole thing of the Super Bowl.
And your future is this. You're going to be watching a game at your house with your Apple Vision contacts in. Not the big thing. You'll have the contacts or glasses at some point. And you're going to have all the screens in front. I mean, have you guys seen the video of these people with the Apple Vision having all the games in front? So you're going to have every game you want in front of you. And you're also going to have 8 betting tabs. And you're just sitting there live betting on, everything. I mean, When they start doing like, will the next play be a handoff or a pass? Like instantly, boom, boom, boom. And you're just doing all these little mini bets. I have no reason to believe that that's not where it's going. Partially, Chris, because I am incredibly attracted to that. Like that speaks to me.
Yeah, it's where your season never ends.
Never ends. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that I don't care about tennis. Like, to a point. Yeah. I'll watch Wimbledon. But if there's a way where, like, I can sit there and watch, you know,
who's gonna win this point?
Vezenkov versus Smith in the Japanese Invitational at 11 p.m., and I'm sitting there, like, making little tiny bets on stuff, I'm the guy. Like, I fully have a gambling problem.
1-800-GAMBLER.
100%, which is why I don't really gamble anymore. Mm-hmm. But that speaks to I have that issue where you walk into a casino and you hear all the sounds and smells and whatever, and I'm like, it's very enticing. And some people like you've gambled.
Mm-hmm. I like to gamble,
but you're shockingly incredibly disciplined with it.
I don't know the last time I did. But I also could go, like, if we went on this
Sean
trip.
Cunningham is incredibly disciplined.
Is like for real.
If we were on this not summer league, on this Super Bowl trip, I would gamble every day for sure, 100%.
But you would have. My guess is you would have set limits every day, and once you, $100 a day, whatever.
And we came home maybe the first day or two. I'm like, oh man, I'd like to. And then once like that is gone,
man, I'm out of cash.
Or that,
right?
And then you just go, I don't know what. I mean, if you say, hey, let's go to, one of the local casinos here, sure. But if no one offered or doesn't happen, then I may not go for 6 months, a year, 2. I mean,
that's fine.
Yeah,
but it's also there's the addiction part where it's like I have to go every day,
right?
And then there's the addiction part where I haven't gone in a year and I won't go in another year, but I'm gonna have a really bad night tonight because I'm into it and I can't discipline myself.
Yeah, no, I can discipline myself.
I'm the guy,
but that's difficult.
I'll be disciplined, but I'm also the guy that if I'm down, there's a couple times where I'm like, well, 12% on a credit card is not that that's not terrible if I win.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes was asked about who his NBA comparison would be.
If I play basketball, I'd be just like Steph Curry. I mean, I got the shot. I just got to get a couple extra reps, a couple shots up, and I'd be shooting just like him. I mean, that's who I would be.
Who does he sound like? He sounds like someone more and more. And
Danny McBride in Eastbound and Down.
Is it?
That's the one that I've heard the comparison.
Here he is. You might have seen the picture with his shirt off, and he had kind of a little mini boiler, and he was asked about that.
Another Super Bowl for sure. I have a six-pack. It's just under the dad bod. So it's just, if you feel, there might be some skin there, but then underneath that, the six-pack's there. You just got to get real close, and you got to squint a little bit, and I think you'll see it.
Oh, my God. No, it's not Danny McBride. It's not Danny McBride, dude. It's Alex Jones. He's got the vocal fry of Alex Jones.
Well, you're just saying that in the Texas accent.
In the what? No,
Texas
it's his
accent.
vocal fry. That I'm
that in a Texas accent.
Well, okay, that too. Here's Alex Jones.
Another Super Bowl for sure. I have a six-pack. It's just under.
He's a higher. Okay,
yeah, when he started to talk about himself.
It's Patrick Mahomes, Alex Jones.
Another Super Bowl for sure. I have a six-pack. It's just under the dad bod. So it's just, if you feel.
Man, I really hear it now.
Oh, no. I'm never going to unhear it either. Oh, no. He's Alex Jones.
There might be some.
Now you're going to really root for the Niners.
Yes. How could you not root for the Niners?
Another Super Bowl for sure. I have a six-pack. It's just under the dad bod. So it's just, if you feel, there might be some.
Oh, my God. That's a whole section of the country. What are they going to do? On one hand, they can't root for the Chiefs because Taylor Swift. And Travis Kelce's out selling Vaxes and Bud Lights. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, Alex Jones is your quarterback, and they're playing against San Francisco, which is a dark blue city. What are you doing? How are you picking this? I don't know.
Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl. Can't ever go wrong with the Puppy Bowl unless it's a deep state, radical left or right puppy.
Mm. I know those dogs.
We'll take a break when we come back. 3 for Madness. Wow,
Let's do it.
Skip through. Brought to you by Fire Wings. Let's talk about this road trip. And any alarms going off from the loss last night for you? Well, don't save your answer. We'll talk about that next.
Catch Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio road coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Stiles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone.
So what if I need a new one? No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in the zone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Yeah, I caught my first fish, Dad.
Great job, buddy. He's a beauty.
Thanks for taking me fishing. Love you, Dad.
I love you too, son.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the boat's always ready for those magical father-son moments. Who knows, maybe someday he'll actually like fishing. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
New boss coming in next Monday.
Oh boy.
Things are about
to tidy up.
Things are about to change.
Yeah. Landscape is changing.
No more screwing around.
Yeah. It's going to move us up from 17 to who knows where.
He can get us up. Look, that's going to be the big. Our new PD can get us up near the top 10 mid-market morning shows in the country.
Hero.
Absolutely hero. A hero comes along and whatever the rest of what she said. 3 for Madness.
Strength to carry on?
Yeah, that one. 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. Hey, Christopher Log, give us question 1, would you?
Rate the road trip 1 to 10.
It's 1 of 2 numbers. I'll just split the middle. I'll go 7.5. I was saying 7 or 8 because I feel like there were 2 losses, so a 10 would be undefeated. I'm only going to dock them 2.5 for the losses because I think there's so much good about the road trip beyond the 5 and 2, which is obviously 80% of my grade is the result. But you also had Harrison Barnes, reawaken. Domantas Sabonis just is insane right now. De'Aaron Fox for the most part had a good road trip. So he took that shot to the shoulder again yesterday.
Yeah,
he really needs this rest, I think. But I like the way this team has looked overall. Malik Monk shook out of his slump. So I would give it a good solid 7.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go 8. And the reason I go 8 is yesterday we talked about in the pregame show, nobody in the history of the league has ever gone 7-0. Nobody. No. Now, I don't know how many teams get 7-game road trips, probably more West Coast teams when they go east, but nobody's ever done it. The last team to go 6-1 was the 15-16 Warriors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, had they won yesterday, which they didn't, but they would have been in pretty special ground. So it's not a 10, certainly not in the middle. I mean, it was good. And there's pretty good basketball on the way, so I'm going to give it an 8.
Considering the fact that before the trip, you and I both agreed that our baseline was 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And that anything
target was 4 and 3.
Target was 4 and 3, and that we would take 4 and 3 and walk away.
Yep.
We end up with 5 and 2.
Yeah, with a chance at 6-1.
That's exactly right. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Did last night's loss set off any alarms for you?
No, not in the classic sense of like, oh my gosh, because you have to kind of see if this is a thing. But the Cavs are really good down low, and it did expose the lack of interior defense the Kings have. Here's why the alarm's not going off. Maybe it's just beeping a little bit for me. Is the Cavs also might be the best team at that in the league, especially right now. So I don't know if that's dude, you're playing the Cavs and they're on a smoker right now.
Yeah.
Or hey, and I think it's kind of a combination of the two. But no, nothing last night. This I don't want to call it a schedule loss, but this just looked like you're at the end of season-high long road trip. You're playing the hottest team in the league. You stuck with them for 2.5, 3 quarters, and in the end, you just didn't have it.
Yeah, no alarms, but I think what it did remind me of is I didn't think the Kings played that poorly. Cleveland played well, and then since they did, you look at it and you go, wow, the Kings aren't there. That's the alarm that it would be, where I think the Kings have been playing good basketball. It's been a good road trip. Even those losses before this winning streak started, or the winning started, was to Phoenix and Milwaukee that could have been wins. I know the team wants to be great. I know they want to be a championship caliber team.
Sure.
Dave, the only alarm it said is like, I don't think they're there. And I don't think that's incriminating, but like, what's the team goal? If they're trying to do it this year, I don't see it.
No.
Now, doesn't mean you have to panic and like, hey, break this up by the trade deadline. No, but can they be patient? Can more people be patient with this team? That, again, that doesn't mean, hey, just be content with what they are. It's kind of somewhere in between. Keep pushing, but you're not there yet.
I will continue to push the parallels between the Denver Nuggets and the Sacramento Kings until otherwise told not to.
It took the Nuggets several years.
It took the Nuggets several years. And by the way, you'll remember it took a while for Nikola Jokic to get the respect he deserved. And it also took a while for the Nuggets to get the respect. Remember last year, they were the number 1 seed. And I was like, but.
And some teams, let's be honest, would have fired Michael Malone.
That's right.
Like, he was winning.
He was.
But it's like, prove it. You got to go farther. And they didn't. So they stayed with it.
I want to thank the text line at 916-339-1140. It's a great point they brought up. So the Warriors, what did you say, 15-16? Last team to go 6-1. That's exactly right. That stat was true yesterday, but it's not true today.
Is it the Clippers?
The Clippers just wrapped up yesterday a 6-1 road trip in which they went to Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, Washington, Detroit, Miami, and finished up against Atlanta last night, 149.
Who was their loss?
Their one loss was to the Cleveland Cavaliers. So there you go. They're pretty hot. So are the Clippers. Number 2, please.
Question 3.
Preview. Cleveland Clippers.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you?
That music's really loud. Chris said on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about the Pistons? Just in case. 12.
You're worried because you don't want to lose to them.
That's correct. I'm worried because I don't want to lose to them. I'm worried because the Pistons are one of those teams that have enough young people on it that
Kate Cunningham's back too.
Yes, he is. And on any given night, we've seen it. We saw what they did in the middle of their losing streak to Boston.
And so what they did to the Kings, he scored 47 in the first quarter against Sacramento.
Exactly.
And the Kings still won comfortably, but that was awful.
And the Kings are notoriously, it seems, terrible on the first game back from a long road trip. So you have a lot of factors there. I hope they just come out, step on the neck, and be done with it. But this game seems like a game where they're going to be down quite a bit. And then if they do end up winning, it'll be a little bit like the Memphis game. It'll be a little bit like the Memphis game where in the end they'll win it, but you'll find yourself kind of frustrated.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I don't know if I don't want to say it helps, but the fact that they did lose yesterday definitely has their antennas up and like, hey, look, we're playing better. Let's get right back in the win column. They know what's ahead. Man, they played Denver starting Friday 3 times in 8 games. They got a really difficult schedule before the break here, and this is on paper, and not even on paper. It's the easiest team they play. This is the worst team in the league. I mean, you worry about it because you know what it would be a Willoughby, right? A home loss to Detroit would be 100%. Bad. I mean, does it mean you have to respect them? Of course they can beat you. That doesn't. I don't want to make it that.
Yeah, of course.
Of course they can, but they just beat OKC by like 16. Detroit, maybe 2 or 3 games ago. But even with that, they're not very good. They're still in single-digit wins. You got to beat them.
Detroit is easily the easiest game you're going to play for a while. You've got San Antonio on the 22nd, but as you pointed out yesterday, Jason, you have Detroit and Denver at home. Then you're back on the road for 3, OKC, Phoenix, and Denver, all 3 playoff teams. Then you come home for San Antonio, 1 game. Then you go, by the way, there's the All-Star break there. But even after the All-Star break, at Clippers, home Miami, at Denver, at Minnesota, and that takes you all the way up to March 4th when you get a home game against Chicago.
Yeah, so from that last night Cleveland to the Minnesota game, it was an 11-game stretch with the 2 being Spurs and Pistons. Everyone else is really good.
This is the most brutal part of the schedule. They're in it right now, and They were just a season high, 10 games over 500. If you can stay around that and you go into March,
they'll be good.
Yeah, you're going to be just fine. We will take a break. When we come back, let's lay all this out for you, by the way. How are we going to do this? We got the Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game coming up. We'll get to that. Am I allowed to just throw this out there every once in a while? It's the magic word. Sure. Why not? I want you to bring the beach to your big game party. So Sactown Sports has teamed up with Beach Hut Deli to hook you up with this is a pretty legendary spread. Artisan sandwiches and more for 20 people. It's a $300 value, courtesy of Beach Hut Deli. Now, in order to win the big game platter, we're going to be dropping keywords all week starting today. So you know the drill. Just write it down. At the end of the week, it'll come in handy. Today's keyword is Viva.
Viva. Okay.
V-I-V-A. Could be a Coldplay reference. I don't know. Don't know what the rest of the sentence is or whatever, but you're right. I see you writing it down.
Viva.
Okay. I would say Viva Sean Salisbury.
Could be.
He's joining us at 8:13. Viva Ryan Leaf, former NFL quarterback, ESPN and Sirius XM game analyst. He'll join us at 9:27. But coming up next, the Cavs stay hot and the Kings lose on this road trip. We've got some couple highlights for you, but we'll get some post-game sound for you next.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand.
Kings lead by 3. Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Tuesday. A quieter start out there. Might see a brief shower with the morning dry, but today is expected overall to be a dry day with partly to mostly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The presidential primary election is March 5th. All registered voters will receive their party-specific ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. As I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
screens and stuff. And hey, let's play that clip. And hey, look, here's
Someday.
the thing.
Yeah,
here's our YouTube feed. It'd be a little weird though if I was doing the show with a Apple Vision goggles.
Wouldn't it be more so for the people watching?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It'd be weird to them.
Yeah,
like I'm sitting here with like ski goggles.
No, that they're watching that way, and not they look at this the same way, but they're picking like, hey, but I want to see that highlight they're talking about, or that audio clip. Or
Interesting. Where you could do that? Where you just have like the virtual audience there, all in there.
I don't know.
I mean, $3,500 though.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. $3,500 before the battery clip, and I went into the Apple store and just like put together a cart. It's more like $4,000 really when it's all said and done. And that's first off, that's a lot of money, period. And a statement. Secondly, that's a lot of money for a first run item,
right?
Where they haven't figured out they don't have all the stuff ready for it. They haven't figured out all the bugs. So far, the best things I've seen is like you can watch a bunch of sports. You can watch movies like on the moon, like a virtual moon, and you're just chilling watching this giant, huge screen. And you can, like have a recipe chilling in front of you while you're cooking. Stuff like that.
Okay.
I think there's other uses people are going to find for this virtual reality that we can't really talk about. That's going to be half their audience, by the way, but that's a whole different ballgame.
But a recipe's chilling in front of you while you're cooking. Can you see?
Yeah. So that's the whole thing, is that you put these goggles on and I can see everything. They want you to call it spatial computing, but it's augmented reality where like
you can still see the stuff you're cutting up, but also there's
they were showing a guy like chopping on the cutting board and putting everything together, and meanwhile you have like the recipe right here. So here's your pot that's boiling, you're putting the potatoes in there, and you're like, okay, next I need to do the thing, and you have a timer going over that you can stick to the oven. So when you like look left and here's your oven, there's the big giant timer above it. There's some cool stuff. Here's the ball game in the corner. I moved my TV over here, so I'm in the kitchen.
Wow.
I still have to bring in my kids' Meta Quest for you guys so we can play golf.
Okay.
We'll do that. See if I also feel
with the pastrami slicer.
With the pastrami slicer. Yeah, I'm way behind on that. Harrison Barnes spoke post-game about the Sacramento Kings loss to the Cavaliers.
Get going in a rhythm like that, it's gonna be a tough game to win. But I think tonight's performance aside, I think this road trip, I thought we did a good job of trying to be consistent. Trying to go on these road trips, you want to try to finish over 500. So, I thought we accomplished that. So that's something we can feel good about.
You guys are top 5 over the last 5 games in defensive rating. But did you feel a little slippage there tonight? And as much as you might not want to point to it, is fatigue just a fact of life when you get to the end of a trip like this?
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily physical, but fatigue, but mentally, I think we could have obviously been a lot better tonight. Like I said, when you look at their shooters, they're all down the line. Donovan, Karras, Darius, Dean, Max. All their guys were able to get clean looks, consistent looks all night. So, I think we just have to do a better job of these last few games here going into All-Star break, just staying focused, making sure that we continue to do the little things defensively.
How important is that? You guys are going to go home for 2 now and then 3 on the road before the break. How important is it to finish strong going into the break? And then like last year, coming out of the break was big for you guys. So how do you look at that?
It's big. I think we look at the standings. All these games, they matter. They matter come April when you're looking at a game here, a game there. It's easy sometimes to say, okay, it's breaks come around the corner, and you want to take your foot off the gas. But these are really important games for us and what we're trying to accomplish.
Harrison, you've had a lot of big games in this building against this Cavaliers team. What makes this group so effective that they've got right now?
Man, I think they've done a really good job of, roster construction, right? When you have, Jared and Evan, defensively, they do a really good job of funneling things to them. Obviously, Donovan, he's a, offensive, machine in terms of not only the points that he can generate, but being able to generate buckets for everyone else. And then they have a ton of shooters, you know what I mean? Whether it's, obviously Darius can play on the ball and off the ball, but the rest of their roster, they keep the floor space. So they do a really good job of making up to make decisions out there.
Yeah, what do you think this stretch has been
What has it done for you guys in terms of like the bond and the togetherness? And then you had a little bit of a rough stretch before, and now, has this, I don't know, just being on the road, winning some games, help bring everybody closer together?
I mean, it's been a fun road trip. I don't think anyone's going to lie about that. But I think the biggest thing is having fun while you're winning. I think that just solidifies everything else. When you're not playing your best basketball, everyone just feels like, man, there's just, juice that we're leaving on the table, wins that we're leaving on the table. And I think when we look at this road trip, the 2 losses that we had, I mean, those teams, I mean, they beat us, flat out. But, I think we can feel good about these wins and come back home, just, refocus for that.
All right.
I think that last statement is really the most accurate. Like, Miami beat them. And Cleveland, like, literally, yes, I know they scored more points.
Right, they beat them.
The Kings, it would have taken. I didn't think they played that terribly against the Heat. Could have won, had to do some things right. Yesterday, I mean, for a while they were hanging with the Cavs, but I don't know. I've never felt like the Kings were going to win just because Cleveland was that good. They beat the Sacramento Kings. They outplayed them.
How good are the Cavs right now? Woj put this out this morning. Cavs are 14-1 in their past 15. That's tied for the best record over a 15-game span in franchise history.
Wow.
It is the best record over a 15-game span without LeBron James on the roster, and they are now, of course, 32-16 and second in the East.
Yeah, and some quality wins. You mentioned beating the Clippers, now beating the Kings. I mean, just along the way, it's when that group's right, you can see how they can be pretty dangerous.
A couple other Woj notes here while I'm on his page. Joel Embiid did undergo a left meniscus procedure, and he will be reevaluated in approximately 4 weeks. How his recovery goes over those weeks will be the telltale sign as to whether or not he returns. But it says the belief is that the door isn't closed on his return this season. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, again, reevaluated in 4 weeks, just based on Joel Embiid's past. I don't think of him as a quick healer.
No.
And I just don't know what their approach will be. Like, they were closer to being a championship team. They're not without him.
No.
So, the deadline's in 2 days. Does that change things for Philly? I don't know what the approach will be there.
I mean, they're currently 30-19. They've lost 6 of 10. They're 7.5 back. And they're 8.5 ahead of the Hawks for the play-in. I mean, they're not at that kind of risk.
They are going to have, I think they're the team, like, that's probably the best team that's going to have the most. They have so much money this upcoming season. Basically, it's Embiid. I mean, and Maxey will kick in at some point. But Harris comes off. They've got a bunch of guys that are basically on final years of a deal. They're going to be free agency players in the offseason.
Would the smart move be just to, I mean, honestly, wouldn't the smart move in a sense be shelf Embiid, trade what you can, especially with these expiring?
Trade Harris.
Yeah,
get a lot of money, get something in return
for that. Get a better pick. And I'm not saying tank, but know the whole control.
Still might make the playoffs. See what you do there with this group, and then I
mean, you basically offload everybody you can other than Maxey and Embiid. And then you
sign a free agent and draft well, and here you go.
Yeah, especially if you can pick up picks. So that'll be interesting to watch what they do over the next couple of days. Speaking of the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard has a 25-5 record over the last 30, while averaging 26.4 points, 57% from the field, 51% from behind the arc, and 92 from the line. He is the first player to average 25 on 55, 50, and 90 shooting splits over any 30-game span of all time. I bring this up in a sense, Jason, because with Joel Embiid shelved, and I also think on top of that, perhaps the way the NBA, for good reason, landscape has kind of forgotten about Kawhi Leonard. He's averaging 25, 6, and 4 on tremendous percentages, and of course, first team all defense. And he's doing that for a team that just right now is 34-15. But again, when you look at their start, this is a team that very easily could flirt with mid to high 50s should we be sniffing around Kawhi Leonard and MVP a little bit?
I don't think it's a bad idea. Bad conversation. Could the counter also be? I mean, when it really, really changed was James Harden. No one.
No, it should not be.
Why?
Because I don't like him, and it goes against my narrative.
Isn't that when it truly? I mean, I guess it went backwards before it went forward.
It did.
And it's tough to decide, or Paul George. Look, he's playing as well. He's an all-star.
Well,
that's a tough one where you have three guys that candidates on one team, basically.
I say that in part, though, because right now, Joel Embiid's off the board. He ain't.
Right. He's not going to qualify.
Nikola Jokic is minus 150. Again, that means you got to put $150 down to win $100. That's a huge favorite. Followed by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at plus 230. Giannis at plus 650. I bring that up because right now, Kawhi Leonard, if you put $100 down and Kawhi Leonard won the MVP, you'd win $10,000.
Ooh.
He's plus 10,000.
And if he didn't, the guys show up at your kid's school.
They show up at the school. By the way, if you put $100 down on Domantas Sabonis and he wins, you win $40,000.
Okay. But he didn't make the All-Star team.
He didn't make the All-Star. Oh my God, that'd be so great. Win the MVP.
And not be an All-Star.
Did I see that right? Did he just pass Jokic
for triple doubles? Yeah, I believe so.
What are we waiting on?
I mean, for MVP?
Yeah. He gets no respect at all.
Just keep carrying that chip with him.
All right, we will take a break. When we come back, you know what? We've got room here. We're going to talk more Kings, but I'm going to shift on the fly here. We have so much Super Bowl sound.
Okay.
We'll get back there because we haven't even heard from Kyle Shanahan.
And someone might have found some Alex Jones sound to go along with.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So the Steph Curry of the NFL might also be the Alex Jones of the NFL. We've got Super Bowl audio for you. And by the way, if you'd like, we're going to do the Jiffy Lube drive of the game in the next segment. We will take a break. Do I have that here? Okay. So when we come back, Super Bowl sound and more right after this.
And Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Stiles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
Sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Before we get to the Super Bowl sound, thought some of you might be interested in this. Las Vegas mayor did an interview yesterday, and she was asked about the A's changing sites, for example.
They said we have a binding agreement somewhere else, and then 2 weeks later they said, now we have a binding agreement at the Tropicana.
Right. We had entertained them down here. We have a very large complex, probably about 60 acres. We probably could cobble together more land so they could possibly have 100 acres. And it's in the historic old part of town, which is where all major interstate highways come together. We have 7 access points to it. It is in an opportunity zone. There are all these benefits. And so when they said no, I thought, this doesn't make sense. Here's a great site. They can get a great price on it because it's owned by the city. We went out to reach for them. And yet, no, they're going to go out, want to get closer to the strip with all the congestion and everything. And I thought, this does not make sense. And so why is it happening? And then I thought, well, because they really want to stay in Oakland. They want to be on the water. They have that magnificent dream, and yet they can't get it on.
It's incredibly
smooth.
Incredibly.
What could go wrong here, Dave?
She went on to say it's not done till it's done.
If they stay in Oakland, I would expect you guys would get an expansion team before long. And I feel like a lot of people want that. I mean, then you would have your own Vegas branded team that isn't just kind of this migrating team. Oakland would get to keep the team they love.
Well, it's true, and it very well could be Oakland, and it is possible after, even though they're talking about that small little site, it's not done till it's done. And in my opinion, they could turn around and say, you know what, we want to come back downtown. We're going to take that whole neighborhood, put in a hotel and put in this whole sports complex and marry with the university and do all these great technology things and stuff. So until it's done, it's not done.
Okay.
Imagine, I know what city we're in here. Imagine the Seattle mayor saying those things about the Kings on the way. Well, they should probably stay in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And
none of that was being said.
At the same time yesterday that we were doing this interview, probably, a Nevada teachers union through a political action committee has sued the state and Governor Joe Lombardo to block the bill that gives the A's $380 million in stadium funding. This thing ain't over, man.
Yeah.
This thing, even the mayor of Las Vegas is like, why wouldn't they take this site? Oh, because they probably want to stay in Oakland. And this is all one giant leverage play.
Is it weird that both cities want a baseball team but don't want this owner?
Oh, I don't think it's weird at all.
Yeah. But have you ever seen anything like this before?
Yes, in the aspect of weird's definition being something that just doesn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's to me one of the issues I have with it. Like, if in any of this it's for Fisher to get to Vegas to ultimately sell, like, that's a true crime.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to sell here and keep them here,
right?
Or let someone else decide and have a clear path, clear idea, better concept. But if it's to go there and then sell because you think there's a higher valuation or higher chance to sell for more, I
don't even know if he's got. I don't think he'll have a good product in Vegas.
No,
that's
not right away. He can't.
Well, not even years down the road. Like, you're gonna have the smallest stadium in the league.
Yes.
You're gonna be in the 40th market.
Yes.
You're gonna still be paying for the stadium.
Right.
You're gonna be. Are you gonna be good? Are you not gonna be good?
You're competing with the Knights.
Yeah, and timing is
And the
everything. Like,
Raiders.
if he was 10 years ago, he'd have been ahead of all of that.
Right.
But he's not.
No.
And now you've got football there, basketball, maybe even more basketball coming, but you've got the WNBA. You've got the team that everyone loves there is the Knights. Like, that's their team.
Oh, I didn't grab it, but the mayor was just like, because he did ask about the NBA. Like, what happens if we get an NBA team? She's like, oh no, it's gonna be when.
Yeah,
not if.
and it
yeah,
is.
they're coming.
Yeah,
we've said this for years. Seattle and Vegas are your next.
Right.
They're your next franchises,
And then realignment, move Memphis
Yes.
and maybe Minnesota out of the West.
That will happen within the next 3 to 5 years, max 3 to 5 years. They're just waiting on the CBA to be done and the TV deal then to
And
be
LeBron
done.
to retire.
Right, because LeBron will take the Vegas team. So you're competing against the hockey, the basketball, the football,
Vegas
itself,
the city.
I don't want to forget. I got to throw the Aces in there because
absolutely.
that could be at or near the top.
Right.
Like they own Vegas as well. And yes, against Vegas.
Yeah, like weekends like this coming up, Super Bowl. But it's not just that; it's the race they now have. That's a 9-year
F1.
deal.
Yeah,
boxing and MMA
That's
and
right.
concerts and the Sphere and whatever's going to be bigger and greater
Right.
than the Sphere that's coming out.
That's right. And you're and again, if you're the how Rob Manfred doesn't just step in and say, okay, enough's enough. This is not going well. Joe Lacob, whomever, get in here. Let's broker a good deal. John, be fair. Tell you what, and he's got leverage because he can very simply say, sell the team. And if you don't sell the team, okay, that's cool. We're going to slap a $500 million relocation fee onto wherever you go. You're going to end up making the same amount of money, dude. Sell the team. We're going to put public pressure on you if you don't. Like, we're trying to get him to sell the team. He's being a ding dong right now. Get him out of baseball. Sell the team to Lacob or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him in Oakland, and then just tell Vegas, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yep.
You're going to have you don't want the A's. You don't want the athlete. You want your own Las Vegas, flashy blackjack neon team.
The 21s.
The 21s.
Yeah.
Yes. Whatever it may be. You want your own history. You don't want this, and you don't want John Fisher.
Yeah.
Earlier, we were playing some Super Bowl quotes. And we discovered that Patrick Mahomes sounds like somebody. Who did you say it was at first?
I've seen the comparison of Danny McBride in Eastbound and
Yeah,
Down.
which I didn't hate that at all. But then upon further listening, he kind of sounds like a higher pitched Alex Jones. And here's the answer that got us here.
Another Super Bowl for sure. I have a six-pack. It's just under the dad bod. So it's just
You got that little fry, right? So, Chris, you've put together a little mishmash here.
Yeah, just put that clip right next to Alex Jones talking.
Okay, here we go.
another Super Bowl for sure. I have a six-pack. It's just under the dad bod. So it's just if you feel, there might be some skin there, but then underneath that, the six-pack's there. You just got to get real close, and you got to squint a little bit, and I think you'll see it.
Months before we taped this, decided to do this because I haven't done this in a while.
But
little bit.
But wow.
But if you put if you had the same music in the background, even their cadence.
Eat that, the six-pack's there. You just got to get real close, and you got to squint a little bit, and I think you'll see it.
Months before we taped this, decided to do this because I haven't done this in a while. We took photos a year ago, and then about 6 months ago, and the weight loss is dramatic already from what happened before.
Wow.
Good poll by you. You identified that.
Yeah, great job with Chris there. Put them side by side.
But like that, you heard it.
Oh my God. So Patrick Mahomes is a Steph Curry of Alex Jones's.
Wow.
God, now he's going to be hanging out with Nick Bosa. Excuse me. Real quick, here's Kyle Shanahan on Brock Purdy being a game manager.
When you talk about game managing, what exactly does that mean that Brock does in this offense particular about managing the game?
It's such a weird conversation to hear the whole world talk about this, but like, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a great quarterback if you can't be a game manager. Like, so I don't get how being a system quarterback and a game manager is a negative. Like, the job of a quarterback is to manage the game, and it is to run the system. The system is what you work on all week. That's what the O-line works on. That's what your 5 eligibles work on. That's everything. And the quarterback, if you want to be great, you better be able to run that system, and you better be able to manage the game. But if you want to stay in that position, understand that no system is going to be perfect. There's going to be times where you have no answers. And if you want to stay there, you better make some plays. And that's how you become a consistent quarterback. You're a game manager, you run the system right, and you can make plays. And if you don't have those 3 things, it's a matter of time. 1 game, 2 game, 2 years, it's a matter of time. But Brock does all 3 of those things, so I don't get what we're talking about.
All right, one more thing. I know we got to go, and I know why Chris is laughing, and I can't not say it. You want to be real careful here, and I'm just going to say that in my personal opinion, which could totally be wrong, and if it is, I super apologize. But, Jason, if I didn't know any better, I'd say leading into Monday, you got a long week ahead of you, maybe knowing you're facing the media and you're going to do all this stuff, maybe Kyle went out and had a couple pops beforehand. Because if I didn't know any better, I'd say old Coach Shanahan's feeling pretty good. And this, I think seals the case a little bit.
It's funny to hear Jed say that because it wasn't the smartest moment I've ever had. I mean, when an owner comes in after training camp practices and it's like, hey, how's the quarterback? And what he means is the starter or the second. And you in irritation go, I don't know, but our third guy's the best. Like, that's not what he wants to hear. So that's why he remembers it very strong. But that was just more, Brock was so good right away with every rep he got. He was always the same. And he only got a couple of them. So it was easy for me to say. Because in his few reps, he was the best. But if you know that for a fact, I mean, then you do what you do right away. But he was the best. But you ease that on. And every time he got a little more reps, it was the same as when he only got 2. And so when it was all said and done and he got a lot of playing time, it was like, oh, this looks exactly like what I told you when I was irritated. And he only had 3 reps. And I said, no, he's the best. But that's what was so real about Brock. That's why after his 7 games, his rookie year, even when he got hurt, we knew what we had because he'd been that way in practice every day. And it was the exact same way in the games.
Very talkative.
Very talkative and a little slurry.
Yeah.
However, let me just say, and we'll go to break.
Consistency.
Right? A, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was just tired. And if so, super apologize for even insinuating it. It just looks like it. But B, let me also say this. If he had a few pops, if he was a little buzzed, God bless you, Coach Shanahan. You go for it. Who says that's wrong? You got the game's not for a week.
Yeah.
You're going into media night.
It's not giving up trade secrets.
You had a couple martinis.
Yeah.
Go for it, brother.
A couple martinis.
Have some fun.
Yeah.
We'll take a break.
Give me a couple of those martinis.
Give me a couple martinis. Hey, donkey. Give me a couple martinis. When we come back, 5 games left before the break. 1 game left before the trade deadline. Where are we at? Also, Sean Salisbury at 8:13. We'll take caller number 1 right now. 1-800-920-1140. Your Jiffy Lube drive of the game from last night. Just call in. Let us know what the drive of the game was. If you got it right, hey, you got yourself a $100 gift certificate. We're right back on Sactown Sports.
It started with 32 teams back in September with 1 goal. Now we're down to the final 2 with a chance to earn the coveted Lombardi Trophy.
It's Super Bowl 58 as the Kansas City Chiefs look to go back-to-back while the San Francisco 49ers seek their 6th Super Bowl title.
Super Bowl 58, Sunday at 3:30 on your home for the NFL. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fair and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Tuesday. A quieter start out there. Might see a brief shower with the morning dry, but today is expected overall to be a dry day with partly to mostly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 25 years or folsomlakekia.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-890-7878. That's 1-800-890-7878. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-890-7878. That's 1-800-890-7878.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
We're going to get to the Kings in just a second. I just want to play the tail end of this again. It's about a 5-second clip. But again, this is the mayor of Las Vegas. The mayor of Las Vegas. And talking to Front Office Sports yesterday and being asked, do you think it'd be a good thing if Oakland moved to the Tropicana or the A's moved to Tropicana? Do you think it'd be a good thing if they came to Vegas, basically? Here was her response.
I personally, I'm not talking about anybody else, anywhere else in this community. I personally think they've got to figure out a way to stay in Oakland to make their dream come true.
I personally think they need to figure out a way to stay in Oakland and make their dream come true.
Just the mayor of Las Vegas thinks it's better for that.
The mayor of Las Vegas, who part of their job, and this is Carolyn Goodman, by the way, just a little bit of Las Vegas history here,
who's, I believe, late husband, Oscar Goodman, long time. Like, the Goodmans are Las Vegas.
Correct.
The biggest part of her job pretty much is to facilitate the insane growth that they've had. And you're talking about bringing a major league franchise of which they don't have. They have overseen the NFL, the WNBA, the NHL. They're about to get an NBA team. This and the NBA team would complete. You would have one of the smallest markets with a major league team.
Yeah.
Of any type in the country, and they would have them all.
They're what, 40th?
They're, I believe, 40th or 41st. Yes.
Okay, and we're
20. It rotates between TV, radio, whatever, but generally between 20 and 25th. Let's call it 23rd.
Okay,
we're right there with like Cleveland.
17, 18 spots higher with one professional.
And
major
they're
league.
On the cusp of having them
all of them.
All.
Yeah.
Now Vegas is an outlier,
right?
But that doesn't mean that their TV demo and their metro is an outlier. You're still dealing with population, et cetera, and you're also dealing with a city that maybe not everybody's staying at home watching TV all the time. As you said earlier, you're not just competing with other sports, you're competing with Las Vegas. You have the mayor saying, they should go back. They should stay in Oakland.
Yeah.
That is unprecedented. That unprecedented. They need to come up with a new word for that because unprecedented doesn't do it justice. For a sitting mayor to want to, and by the way, you got the governor approving loan bonds and funding and $380 million and all this stuff. Now teachers unions are suing. Like, this ain't it, man.
Right.
This has not been a good day, good week, good month for John Fisher, and I'm here for it. We asked for the Jiffy Lube drive of the game before we went to break. Kevin, good morning. How are you?
Hey, morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm good. Do you remember the Jiffy Lube drive of the game?
Yes, I do. I was getting Chinese food on the way. It was Herder inside to Sabonis. It made it 93-74, and it looked like we were about to pick up, and then we fell flat again. But it was a nice pass.
All right, Herder to Sabonis to make it 93-74. Let's see if he's right.
Lead pass to Herder, now to Barnes at the free throw line, dumps it out to Keegan, swings it cross court to Herder, enters inside to Sabonis. He's got post position. He turns for the step back, scores it. Nicely done on the entry pass from Kevin Herder. Let's make that your Jiffy Lube drive of the game. You're listening to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross tomorrow morning at 7:45. Your chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
What?
Hold on. Guys, we got a problem.
Why?
Well, according to the stats here, that made it 93-77.
Oh,
he said 93-74. Now,
yeah, come on, Dave.
I personally, Kevin, I want to. If it's up to me, I'm going to give you the prize.
Okay,
Jason, you agree?
I totally agree.
But I'm going to go to Chris, who's always like, the lawyers. Chris, can I give him the prize? I got the thumbs up. Congratulations. Screw the lawyers. You're the big winner. Remember, as always, when you're on the witness stand, less is more. We learned that recently. Hey, what radio station that bends rules for you makes all your Jiffy Lube dreams come true?
1140.
Yeah.
You know what? Close enough. Yeah, I said less is more.
Yeah.
There you go. Congratulations.
Yes. Way to go, Kevin.
So here we are, Jason. 5-2 road trip. The Kings have 5 games before the All-Star break. 1 game left before the deadline. By the way, just a scheduling note, I always like to give people a heads up. Probably don't need to, but you will be gone next
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday, Friday. That's it? Just Thursday, Friday? Okay. And then I'm gone the following week, and that's our All-Star stuff. So we'll have all kinds of fun and hijinks in there for you as well. But the Kings, they've got perhaps some work to do, or they don't, because there's 1 game left before the trade deadline. Gut feeling, are we going to see a move?
Yes.
I agree. I have no idea what it's going to be, and I have no idea how big it's going to be, and I have no idea how small it's going to be. I mean, honestly, isn't that kind of where we're at that point? And I got to compliment the front office for this too. Like, nobody has any idea, and everything is a complete and total pontification. And that, by the way, that doesn't mean the media is doing a bad job.
Right.
The media is doing the best they can.
Sure.
But number one, this front office is pretty damn buttoned up. And number two, there's also, we could literally have a leak in the front office that is funneling us information every night. And I could have talked to that. And by the way, we don't. But in this hypothetical situation, let's say Fred in the front office is like our guy in there.
Front office Fred.
And he's on a 3-way call with you and I. Mm-hmm. And he says, dude, I don't think we're going to make a move. Like, we got, a couple feelers out, but we were turned down. We had a couple of people offer us things. It's just not looking right. And so we come on the air today, and what are we doing? We're doing our jobs. We have a source, a good source, somebody that works for the team in the front office that's in every single meeting. And they're telling us off record. So we come on and we're like, you know what? According to, what would it be? According to folks close to the team or whatever, it doesn't appear that they're going to do any moves. But hold on a second. So then, later today at 12:30, old Monty's at Starbucks, ring-a-ding-ding. Hello. Hey, that's GM guy from another team. How would you like derp for derp? And they make a trade. Well, that doesn't mean our guy was wrong.
Right.
It means that at the trade deadline, there's so much where you put out these initial feelers, then everybody kind of postures unless it's a no-brainer. And then as you get towards the end, maybe an owner steps in and is like, no, we need to make some moves, or we need to save money, or we need some draft picks or whatever. Or it could just be someone says there's no market for this guy like we thought earlier, and we really do want to move him. Let's call Sacramento back and revisit that offer they made 2 weeks ago. So the long-winded way of saying this, everybody, is that nobody knows anything. And there is a very good chance that nothing could happen. There's also a very good chance that something could develop over the next day. Oh, by the way, there's also a decent enough chance that something is developing as we speak.
True.
And Monty's going to wake up and put on his puffy vest and answer not just the puffy vest.
Yeah.
Because that's what he wears, I think, to bed. He just wears
wears
like a knee-length puffy vest.
Yeah.
And like one of those little hats with the poofy.
Oh, nice.
And he wakes up and he lights his candle,
and
he's walking around the house to his phone, and he gets on the phone, and maybe he has a deal in his lap right now that he wanted to sleep on.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's like anything too. When a deadline is put out there, that now it's okay. Now here's where we got a finite ending to this, and if we're going to do something across the league, 30 teams know. It's by Thursday at noon.
Everybody has the same deadline.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Sean Salisbury joins us. It is Super Bowl week. We will talk to him about all kinds of fun stuff, and we'll do that next.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas. Road trip! Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt! Yeah!
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, here we go. Joining us right now. We're not screwing around with long intros. We love him. You know we love him. He is the man, the myth, and the legend, and he now has a cleared throat because we went to him way earlier than we normally do. Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, good to talk to you guys.
Hey, are you going to Vegas this year or no?
Nope, we're doing the show from here. I mean, with the Texans, we thought about it, and I actually thought about going because I have a few companies I have to do some work for, but I'm going to do it from here. I don't mind the and Vegas will be crowded. And I love Radio Row because it's got a lot of, with the old, what's the word I'm looking for? Good reunion stuff. See guys like you.
Right.
But we're not going this year. We're going to do it from our studio. So I'm okay with it.
Same here. And I mean, we have our afternoon show going down there, but it's been so hit and miss. It's been a weird few years for Radio Row, but for you, I've always kind of wondered, Sean, like when you go down as a host, so you're hosting a big morning show in a huge market, but also you're one of those guys that is absolutely in that category of getting shuttled around to 900 different radio shows, selling something or plugging something or whatever. I mean, you played NFL football and you're a media personality. So does it get difficult for you when you do go down to cover because you're kind of serving two masters there?
Yeah, it sounds disingenuous to say, yeah, man, I got to do too much work. I never wanted to sound like that. For me, it's probably, and at times, depending on the sound in the studio, and Dave, you guys been there, that it's like, okay, guys will walk by and you'll be in the middle of the interview and a buddy you'll say, hey, Sal's, what's going on? And say hi. And so the people back, it's like an inside joke. They're like, oh, great. We got a segment going and Ronnie Lott just walks by or somebody says, so you got to acknowledge him because it's a big reunion. So I don't want it to sound like I'm an ingrate for people want to talk to you. I think for me, that's always been the lack of, you do your show, you're done at 10, and then you're going around and getting stuff for the next day. But also you're walking by and you try to schedule it and you don't want to be rude to anybody because you get it because you're a host. So I think that the thing that beats me down and it's not like they're requesting me like they are. So yeah, that can be at times. I don't want to say, but it does use up. You got to manage your time right. But I do like it because it gives me a chance to see all buddies and be a part of that. But I don't take it too serious, and so I understand. But can you imagine being a guy that every show in the country wants to talk to, and being a Brady or an Aikman or one of those guys? That's got to be very difficult. Put it this way: I don't need much of a handler when I go down there. I can do that myself. The guys who are doing interview after interview. But yeah. You'll hawk some stuff and, you're endorsing something, but I've always enjoyed it because I like the people, but the radio usually sounds better when you're in studio because you're not dealing with some of the different sounds in a big old convention center.
Yeah. And Sean, obviously, like we just said, Radio Row is different for all this, is different than our regular shows. There's some fun to that, but much like this week, there's a rhythm to the football season. You guys have days off in the week, after the game and film and then prep. And then here you go and get your couple days ready with the game plan for the new game. This isn't just another game. There's been 2 weeks. There's hype. Last night's just chaos there in Vegas with opening night and media night. The Chiefs have been there. A few Niners have. How do they try to make this week as regular as possible?
That's a big key of it, my man. And you're right. When we hear people say, hey, it's just another game, the field's just like, no, it's actually not. The playoffs are not the same as the regular season. And the Super Bowl's far different. And I have yet to talk to a guy who, when you can lock in and that feeling of that you're in such a mode going into a game and then it clicks and it's happening in the biggest game of your life. It's like, oh my gosh, how do I bottle this up? And if you're fortunate enough to get that feeling, which adversity will hit and that good stuff will hit and being able to manage both, that's hard. But leading up to the game, you are right. How do we keep and all coaches, all of them, and players want to be in their same routine. Here we are at 8 o'clock, we eat breakfast. This is our day off. At 10 o'clock, we go here. Because during the regular season, what Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are. So the coaches, now that the media night's over, are going to do everything they can to manage it to where your practice schedule is exactly the same as what you've been on and time it to where it's game time as well. So they're creatures of habit and superstitious. But it's the distraction, and they're there, and the pressure, and not to want to go out in Vegas and say, well, like curfew's at midnight tonight, it's early in the week, and not to overdo it. It's not just curfew. It's maybe you had 3 too many. The next day you're not as functional at practice. I don't know, but I do know this. And somebody will rise in this pressure. The question is, how many, and can you stay focused? Experience matters. I at times thought, is it overrated? It's not. The team that's been there more or has more players should have an advantage, but that doesn't mean that's the result of the game.
Sean Salisbury with us. Sean, I'm a diehard Niner fan. You also know I'm kind of a psycho when it comes to my teams. I'm sitting here leading up to the Super Bowl, and I'm going, look, everyone's talking about Mahomes and Kelsey and Pacheco, but this Chiefs defense is actually really a lot of what got them there. And I look at the warm butter that the Niners run defense was in their matchup against the Lions, them having to come back twice versus the Chiefs going into Buffalo, going into Baltimore, holding Miami to 10 points. Why in the hell, Sean, why are the Niners favorites in this game?
We talked about it ad nauseum yesterday on my show. I even had a caller call in who's a big bet. How? And I'm sitting here and I go through, man, I'd like to bottle it up. And no, I'm going to keep an eye on that too as we get closer to the game, the Sharps. I think it comes down to this. The better roster is the 49ers.
Yes.
They just are. Now, but the better execution in the postseason has been the Kansas City Chiefs. But like them, I don't believe in game-to-game momentum. I don't. I believe in in-game momentum and confidence game-to-game. But all that momentum stops when somebody knocks you right in your teeth about the first 6 minutes. Like, oh, I guess momentum didn't matter from Baltimore to here. But I don't know how they're favored right now. When you just look experience, the coach, the defensive coordinator, the quarterback, you would say, oh, this is obvious. Now, you look at the numbers of Mahomes. His numbers in Super Bowls are down compared to in playoffs and regular season. His numbers go down. Now, he still finds a way to make big plays and win. So I think the 49ers are the better roster. That's all I can tell you why I believe that. And they've got I think there's more star power overall. You don't have more star power than maybe the two guys, meaning Kelsey and Mahomes. And then you add Taylor Swift to the mix, even though she's not taking a snap. I will tell you this, though, that I'm with you. I think their defense, I said at the beginning, if the Chiefs, and I said the Chiefs would not make the Super Bowl because I didn't think they were offensively good enough. I did not. Notwithstanding the quarterback and the tight end, I just didn't think they had enough playmakers. Well, that goes to show you the elevation. And with Andy Reid, the core of the offense was there. I felt it was going to be the defense, and I think the defense has been the star of the football team this year. And if they play like they have, it's going to be a hellified game. It'll be the defense that wins this. Although somebody else may win the MVP, the defense is even going to have to play better than they have the first 2 weeks because it's more multiple formations, and I think a better football team roster-wise than they faced at any point in time in the playoffs this year.
With that said, Sean, do you have a pick this week, or have you landed on a team?
You know what? I'm not hiding from it. Even on my show, I guess right now it's like I think I'd be a fool to bet against. Like last week, I might have said to you guys, I said I'd be a fool to bet against Mahomes, but I'd be a fool, or 2 weeks ago, to bet against the Baltimore Ravens, the best team in football. Well, we saw take the quarterback. So initially, I would say don't bet against Mahomes. I had the 49ers in this game. I'm picking the 49ers to win, but I'm not sure a gambling move is the right play for me at this one because of my heart and head. But I think the 49ers are the better team. I'm going with my preseason pick. Give me the Niners in the win.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Hey, I've been saying it all week. You saw Beverly Hills Cop. Chiefs ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe the way Detroit did, the way Green Bay did. So I guess we probably both agree that if the Niners think they're going to be able to lollygag their way into a comeback against the Chiefs, I mean,
it will not happen.
Yeah.
Dave, if they're down 10 points on this, good luck. But I think the other thing is true. If it's close, I don't think Kyle, if they're up a touchdown, the 49ers, I think they'll hold this one off. I do. I think, but it's going to come down to you can't let that defense. If they're two-dimensional, meaning that the Chiefs offense, you're going to have some trouble. But if both teams play their best, 49ers win. If both teams play their worst, it's probably the Chiefs. Why? Because 15 seems to find a way when he's playing his worst. So, but give me the 49ers. I just think they're the better team, and I think their quarterback's poised enough to hang in there against the best player in the world.
Sean, in a game of this magnitude, how important will I say coaching, but basically scheme and game plan be for this?
Huge. It is, and it's important that once you got your foot on their throat, not to take it off, because what's the tendency in pressure-packed situations? To play not to lose as opposed to play to win. And we always talk about plays like, hey, who made more plays? Well, it's not a lot of times to me at this stage, it's not who made the most plays to win. It's in this type of game, who makes the least amount of plays that didn't cost them, meaning who makes the least amount of mistakes in pressure moments. Because McCaffrey's going to make a play in pressure, but who makes the least amount of mistakes when the temperature of the game goes up? So yes, game plan, scheme, and the ability to adjust if necessary, like the 49ers did last week, but also the ability to stick to the plan whether you're down 10 or up 10, and it doesn't become a one-dimensional game. If they're within 10 points, either team, have hope and confidence that both teams are good enough to do it. But the game plan and the ability of the players, the both coordinators, to call the right plays, and I mean the head coaches for the 49ers and the Chiefs because they're the offensive play callers, that will do a lot in determining, do you choke under pressure like a player does, or do you thrive under pressure like some of your players do? Yeah, don't discount or diminish and shrink how important that is going to be and dealing with that pressure as a play caller, no doubt.
All right, last thing for you real quick. Have to ask, I'm sure you saw the clips of Orlovsky coming off the couch and getting 27 points in the QB skills contest, which beat out everybody, or would have, including your guy CJ. Sean Salisbury coming off the couch. If Orlovsky had 27, you saw the skills. How's Sal's doing?
Well, I can tell you this, as much as I like Chris Russo, I'll bet $10,000 he ain't hitting one target. Okay? that I'll bet you. Matter of fact, I'd love a little tournament. Take three of us guys and maybe three, Russo and Stephen A. and that. Let's have can you hit a 60-mile-an-hour fastball? Can you make a three-pointer? And can you hit a target from 5 yards? My money's on Orlovsky. Now, as far as I go, as long as you're not making me sprint and run on the and sprint to the edge from the pocket, I can guarantee you I'm scoring. Now, I don't know if I'm going 27 like Dan. I'd have to practice. He's a little younger.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me, can I still throw it to the target? Yes. And I'll throw it to the target better than Russo will left-handed. Okay.
You might be a little check down Charlie, but you're scoring.
Listen. I'll push the ball down the field. But if you're asking me to be two-dimensional, beat you with my legs in that contest, good. Yeah, as long as I'm throwing from the pocket, don't have to move one step, I can still throw it. But good for Dan. I thought it was awesome, and I know it's fun banter back and forth, but anytime you last 12 years in the league like Orlovsky did, you're better than about 99% of the world at your craft. So good for him.
Awesome.
You're the man. Can't wait to talk to you. Well, I can't wait to talk to you.
Victory Tuesday next week.
There you go. There you go.
Victory Tuesday. Believe in it, buy it, throw it out into space, manifest it, and let's go get this win.
I'll be texting you during the game as usual. Thanks, brother.
I'll be there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That is that's Sean Salisbury
picking the Niners.
But even he's like, I'm picking the Niners. I don't know why.
I mean, I'm actually not far off it. Like, I've really wavered on this game. Like, I mean, I think it's as close to a pick 'em. You can make great cases. I mean, if you start to walk down the line of picking the Chiefs, I totally get it. It makes sense what their defense has done. To your point, they won it last year. It's hard to pick against Mahomes, but I think he's spot on. I think the roster is better for the 49ers. They haven't played as well in the playoffs as the Chiefs, but that's really irrelevant come Sunday. I mean, it doesn't matter if they play great.
Do you agree? I mean, look, he's the football player.
Yeah.
Like, so I say this with all love and respect and not acknowledging who we are.
Yeah.
Do you believe that there's not game-to-game momentum?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I mean, because, like, for example, in the regular season, I don't remember the exact order, but they couldn't have looked much better against the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Now, same team went to Minnesota. You're like, what's wrong with them? Same team went to, Baltimore later in the year at home. Like, just, I think it's independent. I think it's who you play. It's how you match up. Maybe a few breaks here and there, get off to a good start. All those things. But yeah, it's just, it's a close call.
It's breaking my brain, man, and it's because the Niners are involved. And like, I'm not trying to do my reverse jinx or anything like that. Like, I legit.
Yeah, if you pick the Chiefs, I don't think you're going.
No.
Like, hey, I'm trying to not pick the Niners because, like, it's not crazy to pick the Chiefs.
No, I feel like it's. I just looked at the line, so it's been 2.5 for a while.
What's it now?
No, it's 1.5. Niners 1.5. I feel like it's going to be a pick 'em by the time they kick off.
I mean, 1.5 feels like a pick 'em anyway, but whatever.
Yeah, right. And
and even if it was 2.5 Chiefs, I'd be like, that's about. I mean, that range 2.5 either way.
Right.
That's kind of where the game will probably live.
I know we got a break. But dear football Jesus, I have not asked for anything for like a super long time.
For like a week.
Well, okay. I asked that Debo could not be hurt in that one playoff game a couple games ago. And you answered that. But that was like,
David.
And that was like a minor ask.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been 30 years and we haven't had a Super Bowl. And the Chiefs have had a bunch. And I know that you don't like Taylor Swift. So.
Not true, David.
Please. And Alex Jones might actually be the quarterback of the Chiefs.
That's true, David.
So Please, sweet baby Jesus wrapped in golden fleece, please, please, please can the Niners win? And if the Niners win,
yes,
I will not say that you hate Sacramento for at least one calendar year, no matter what happens.
More. I need more.
What? All right, 13 months. We'll negotiate later. Because you know what? You know what happens? If you break a covenant with him and you don't pay your bet off, it's going to be fire where you're going. It ain't going to be fire wings, let me tell you that. But if you're going up north, yeah. I hope there's fire wings in heaven. Not that I'd experience them, but for all of you good people. Peanut butter, Louisiana rub, Thai chili, breaded Malaysian curry. That is all. The breaded Malaysian curry fire wings are all over it. I promise you that. Just kiddie pools of breaded Malaysian curry that you can swim in. Your little wings while you're eating wings. 21 different flavors. They are the best wings in town. They are award winning. And they are the perfect fast casual dining establishment for the entire family. And also a great place to enjoy all of the college and pro basketball games and football. You know what I'm saying? What is better than enjoying the best wings in town while watching the game? Yeah, not much. It's winning the game. Go to firewings.com, find the location near you, order online. Don't forget tomorrow's Wing Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings, bone-in boneless. Don't forget to tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings. Just wing it. We'll take a break when we come back. 4-Down Territory brought to you by Maida Subaru. Ryan Leaf at 9:27. We're right back after this.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Tuesday. A quieter start out there. Might see a brief shower with the morning dry, but today is expected overall to be a dry day with partly to mostly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The presidential primary election is March 5th. All registered voters will receive their party-specific ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the hot new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke line of drivers, fairways, hybrids, and iron sets that are sweeter from every spot. AI Smoke is designed with thousands of real player data and a revolutionary new AI Smart Face for sweet spots across the entire face. Ask about the full line of Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke woods and irons and find your sweet spot at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 25 years or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive?
Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Play and win with rewards that soar at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Sign up for Sky River Rewards and you'll get $20 free play to use on your first visit. Plus, you'll be the first to know about upcoming special events and offers. Visit SkyRiver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. Can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
In the morning to get your sports fix. Live and local. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
From the text line at 916-339-1140. I'll answer this happily. What is the Salisbury connection that's created such dedication to the show? Sean's been a long-time guest on the station. I think back to like Grant and Mike. Say.
Mike Lamb and Sean were teammates in college.
Yeah, way back
at that school in Southern California.
And then I met Sean on Twitter, really originally back in the day. He used to come on the night show, and then when I had my sabbatical for the year here, he and I did a podcast together, and then he's come on with us ever since. Once a week, we give him summers off. And I love him. And the thing with Sean is he could talk about the phone book and be passionate and interested about it. So especially during Super Bowl week, it's really good to have him on board, as it is to have made a Subaru on board for 4 Down Territory, and Chris to be on board for 4 Down Territory, which starts now. First down.
The 49ers are not happy with the practice field turf in Las Vegas. Big deal or no deal?
I mean, if what we heard was true, that they have been given the opportunity to share the practice facility with the Chiefs and they turned it down, well, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal because they have the opportunity to, if it was a big deal, they would say, yeah, we're not practicing here. So this sounds like a much ado about nothing, but as you and I talked about before, Jason Ross, knock on wood, salt over the shoulder. Somebody gets injured, they're going to blame it on the field.
Yeah, and I don't, barring that, if they were to lose the game, I'm not blaming it on the practice field.
No.
I'm going to say the Kansas City Chiefs are a really good football team that they played in the Super Bowl, and maybe the Niners didn't play their best game. Maybe they did. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm not putting it on the practice field.
Well, I'm not either. Asterisk. Well, if like Brock Purdy does like a handoff to Debo on an end around and he runs into the back of Trent Williams and they all slip on the field and they fall into each other and their legs all intertwined into
on the practice field.
Yeah, then I'm blaming it on the practice field.
Okay.
Which is obviously not going to happen.
Right. You threw the salt over the shoulder.
And
you knocked on wood.
I have to spin around. I had to spin around too.
See?
I think that's the thing too.
Not happening.
Second down.
Would the 49ers be in the position they are now if they still had Jimmy Garoppolo as their starter?
Ooh, good question. I mean, Brock's a system quarterback. Kyle Shanahan's still there. They've got Christian McCaffrey. No. Here's why. Because I think Brock Purdy progresses through his reads quicker than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he has a better arm than Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think he's willing to make the clutch pass. They're not just willing to make it, but able to execute in ways that Jimmy just didn't or couldn't. So you could make the argument that, they probably would have been above 500. They probably would have been a playoff team. And who knows, maybe they would have eked their way into the NFC Championship. But anybody who remembers that Super Bowl with the Chiefs remembers Jimmy Garoppolo coming up short on a pretty big pass or two. And I don't, that's just something that Brock makes mistakes. But when you look at the numbers and you look at his air yards and you look at his lack of interceptions and you blah, 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 I would say no, they would not. However, Jason, can we both agree? We got to acknowledge that Brock has gotten a little bit lucky with the interceptions or lack thereof this postseason. I can count of at least, I think, 3, if not 4, that were either deflected or just came out of the hands. He could have a few more if luck was against him.
I even remember that last year. I thought even in his games where he had the great touchdown interception ratio, I said, he's had a couple that were underthrown or dropped that could have been. It just didn't happen that way. A couple things on the Garoppolo part. I think they'd be look, we look back at Jimmy G's run. His superpower was apparently just a great locker room leader and a winner. Those are good things. But I think Brock Purdy has that already and a few other intangibles. The processing is his superpower. And the other part, the bigger deal probably, Dave, is the contracts. Like if Jimmy G is still here, he's getting paid a bunch more. Part of the other superpower of Purdy is he's still on this incredible team-friendly contract that can allow you to re-sign Bosa and trade and get in a guy like McCaffrey. I just don't think they would have the luxury if they had Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think you're right.
They'd be a good team.
Yeah, but I didn't even include the contract part. You're right, which allows them to get X, Y, Z and re-sign.
Debo, Ayuk, they've got all their guys.
Third down.
What is your favorite non-football thing about the Super Bowl? Commercials, Super Bowl parties, or the halftime show?
When you say Super Bowl parties, are we folding the food into that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, then I'd say that. Like, it's not the parties.
If I could just have the food without the people,
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so Super Bowl food, we could take the party out.
Yeah, like, but if it's folded,
but you could have Super Bowl food tonight.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to. Super Bowl is sports Thanksgiving. It really, truly is.
It's an excuse to eat whatever you want.
Absolutely, and to make whatever you want, and everybody does it.
It's okay.
And it's okay, and that is my favorite part.
Calories don't count on Super Bowl.
No.
How about between commercials and halftime show? I guess each one depends, right?
Yeah, like normally it's probably the commercials, but like the Dr. Dre Snoop Dogg one, the Prince one, the Michael Jackson one, like every once in a while.
Has there been a terrible one that you?
No.
But I think sometimes
that was fine. Like it was.
Aerosmith was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, I don't even remember much about it.
Did Bruce Springsteen do one year?
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Fine. Like
Tom Petty did.
Tom Petty was.
Oh, U2 was pretty good.
U2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Patriots Rams Super Bowl.
Okay. And then sometimes like the commercial, like, wow, this is a really good batch this year. And others
Well, the bad thing is they start posting them now.
Have you seen the one with Patrick Stewart, the Paramount commercial?
No,
try to. It's good, but save it for the.
And sometimes there ends up being themes, like everybody kind of did this year. Or whatever.
I don't know, but what about you?
Yeah, I guess now that you labeled it differently with the food. I mean, there's something about that's pretty fun.
Also, I like Super Bowl squares.
That's fun too.
It's so
Love
fun.
a good square.
It's fun. It's so fun when you win. It doesn't even matter what the money is.
Right.
You're just like, woohoo, 2-1. I just randomly picked these numbers. Now it's Keno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fourth down.
Eric Bieniemy was fired as OC of the Commanders. Did he miss his window to be head coach in the NFL?
I don't know, man. Like, I can't remember the NBA coach we did this analogy with a few years ago that just like does he get like really gassy during interviews or something? Like, what is it with Eric Bieniemy? Like, he was the hottest prospect for like 3 years when he was the OC at the Chiefs.
Yeah. What if he stayed there? but he was like, I need to go elsewhere.
I guess.
Or he was forced out or whatever it was.
Well, and I feel like he went there to do his thing to Washington, and
now he's out.
Yeah. Like, what is the deal, man? I don't know.
No longer the hot name, though. I feel like he did miss his window.
Yeah, that's it.
Feels like it.
That's
I mean,
for him.
I think now he's got to get another opportunity where he shines somewhere else as an OC. But
yeah. Poor Eric.
What if he went to college?
What?
What if he went to college and was a head coach?
I mean, you know what? If Dion left Colorado at some point, there's the perfect fit. His alma mater.
Yeah.
He was a stud at Colorado.
Sure was.
I don't know. Maybe Eric is the enemy of the interview.
The enemy of the state?
The enemy of the state. I'm rooting for him.
Sleeping with the enemy.
When we come back, who's hot?
Who?
Who's? I don't know.
Oh, you asked the question.
Yeah. And we'll recap 3 in the key. Kings, Cavs. Don't forget Ryan Leaf at 9:27. Niners at 9 9. It's Jason Ross, Carmichael, Dave, Christopher Loud. We're right back.
Catch Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Styles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Hey, it's Carmichael, Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Nada Subaru says yes during the huge President's Day sales event on Now. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to awesome lease offers. Yes to great trade-in values. Yes to huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Subarus in stock ready to go. Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, Ascent, WRX, and more. All with huge Maida Says Yes savings. The President's Day sales event is on. Stop by Maida Subaru today or visit MaidaSubaru.com and click the Unlock Maida Says Yes savings button to unlock your savings on the card you want today. Whatever whatever you choose, you're going to save big during the President's Day sales event on now at Neda Subaru. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to attractive lease offers. Yes to exceptional trade-in values. Yes to great selection. Over 300 new and certified pre-owned Subarus available. The huge President's Day sales event on now at Neda Subaru. NedaSubaru.com.
Approved premium credit 1.9 financing on new 2024 Outback.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network. What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Rodrigo Hernandez Casacante.
Yeah, he is.
You probably know him better as Rodri, the holding midfielder for Manchester City.
I do.
Dave.
Yes.
Yesterday, City beat Brentford 3-1, which isn't that big of a thing.
No.
And that's because Rodri has not lost a game when he's in the lineup for the past year.
Whoa. Go, Rodri, go.
Wow.
Since February 5th, 2023, Manchester City has not lost. They have had 42 wins, 10 draws, and won 5 trophies.
Wow. And they totally aren't cheating with their salary.
No.
At all. Even though they have all these charges against them.
Charges are meant to be
innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. I mean, they won the first time. So.
What are you gonna do though when they just get like
when they come for you
hammered?
They're not.
No.
Okay.
But if they did,
I mean, everyone was saying the same thing about UEFA. Oh, what are you gonna do when they just get dropped? What are you gonna do then?
What are you gonna do?
Well, it didn't happen.
What are you gonna do with Phil Foden?
What about him?
Isn't there like a controversy? Like, should he start? Should he sit? What do they do now?
Where are you getting this information from? I thought I saw 8 months ago.
I saw it on Twitter this morning. It was like the Foden issue. No,
no, he's been starting every game.
No, but like
got a hat trick yesterday.
But isn't he being? There's not something where like people are coming back and he's
Kevin De Bruyne came back.
Yeah. Well, what about our guy?
Erling Haaland.
Yeah,
he's a striker.
Yeah, that doesn't push somebody somewhere else, which push somewhere else.
They all played yesterday.
Phil Foden is. I don't want to start rumors, but he should go play for Huddersfield Town. That's what I'm saying.
Don't start rumors.
Give us Phil Foden for £25. I can't speak for the chairman, but I will say this: I think we would offer £25 at least.
Oh yeah.
To get Phil Foden.
You know the funny thing about Phil Foden? He started as a ball boy for City.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I saw him score 2 goals against us. That was neat. Who's not?
Sacramento Kings free throws. But this is a little bit different. That's because the starting 5, they averaged 32 minutes last night against the Cavs.
Yeah.
Did not have one free throw attempt the entire game.
Nope.
But glass half full, they didn't miss one.
They did. The starters did not miss a free throw yesterday.
Yes, they didn't.
I wonder when the last time that happened was, where all the starters, not one starter for the Kings missed a free throw.
I bet it's happened in the game this year.
You think it's happened in the game this year?
It's a guess.
Okay. Well,
it's a guess.
That just leaves 3 in the key and a recap of it. Let's do that right now. John Tesh, kick it. Here's Chris Verlaud and Sean Salisbury telling us to kick it.
Let's kick it.
Thank you,
All right, thank you, Sean. We asked 3 questions. The first one was, De'Aaron Fox had 11 steals in 2 games.
Yes.
So we asked the important question, how many steals for De'Aaron Fox last night against Cleveland? Dave, you said 2. I also said 2. Chris said he'd have 3, so we all thought he'd come down a little bit. We have a correct answer. Dave, you and I were correct with 2. You got it right on. Chris was way
what
off.
a loser.
Who's not hot?
Well, who's not hot?
Yeah,
Chris Verlaud.
That's right. Then we asked about the Kentucky connection. Total points for Fox, Monk, and Lyles. Did you know they all went to Kentucky?
They did.
Yeah.
I knew this.
Yeah. So, looking at the totals, Dave, you said there'd be 60 points amongst the trio. I said 51. Chris said 65. Fox had 19. Monk had 18. Lyles had 7. That's a total of 44. Whoever you think you are, I am.
You are.
I was the closest.
You were. Jason Ross.
Off by 7.
Undefeated so far. So I'm 1-0-1. You're.
Wait, are you tied?
Oh no, wait. I'm 0-0-1.
No, you got to win.
Well, does that win even though we tied?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. You're 1-1-0.
No, I don't have a loss.
Oh yeah, you're 1-0-1. Whatever.
I think Chris is 0-2.
Look, I found the place your life is going. In the garbage.
Yeah, who do you think you are? He is.
Yeah. And then we had the random stat. Dave, you said a Kings player would foul out. Let's see. Malik Monk had 5 fouls.
He almost fouled out.
6.
Yeah.
No fouling.
I thought this was college.
I said Keegan Murray would have a double-double. He had 10 points.
Yes, he did.
Yep. He had 10 points.
He had 10 points.
He had 1 rebound and 2 assists. That's none of those are double-doubles.
Okay, but I'm going to help you out, Jason Ross.
Okay.
You get the point.
Why?
Because he also had 30 minutes.
Okay.
Keegan Murray, you didn't specify.
Double-double.
Points, minutes, double-double.
There you go. And Chris said Trey Lyles would have 3 threes or more. I think he meant mades, right?
Yeah.
No, I think I was going with attempts.
What about, you know what? None of the starters shot a free throw. Trey Lyles was 3 of 4 from free throw line.
Okay. Yeah, Trey Lyles is over 3 from 3.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you're the big one.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Oh, you won. You're the big winner. So I guess that means DeMontis Sabonis had a quadruple double last night.
Points, rebounds, assists, minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where does it say we can't count minutes?
Yeah. Where does it say that?
Best ability is availability.
Yeah, and he was available.
He was so available.
Yep.
He was he was hardcore available.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's Alex Jones.
Another Super Bowl for sure. I have a 6-pack. It's just under the dad bod. So it's just, if you feel, I mean, there might be some skin there, but then underneath that, the 6-pack's there. You just got to get real close and you got to squint a little bit, and I think you'll see it.
Months before we taped this, decided to do this because I haven't done this in a while. We took photos a year ago and then about 6 months ago, and the weight loss is dramatic already from what happened before.
You know, also Patrick Mahomes, if that's even his real name, did you notice there he was kind of pushing a conspiracy theory about his 6-pack abs? He said it's there. Yeah. It's just underneath the skin. So you might see a little flap of skin here and there, but if you squint and you turn just kind of this way, there's a 6-pack, i.e. the earth is flat.
Back and to the left.
Back and to the left. We'll take a break. When we come back, Niners at 9, sound from opening night at Vegas, including George Kittle going on a little bit of a rant. We'll talk about it next.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
3 little words no parent wants to hear. My tummy hurts. And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids gummies help relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words. I feel better. Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone.
So what if I need a new one? No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in the zone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Yeah, I caught my first fish, Dad.
Great job, buddy. He's a beauty.
Thanks for taking me fishing. Love you, Dad.
I love you too, son.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the boat's always ready for those magical father-son moments. Who knows, maybe someday he'll actually like fishing. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Seth Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Seth Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Seth's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Tape it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Hey, you played against my dad. Your first NBA game ever. Really. Sacramento. You feel old, don't you?
That's an old one. That's Jabari Smith Jr. of the Rockets going up to LeBron. Yeah, dude, you played with my dad. First game ever, Sacramento. We remember Jabari Smith.
For sure.
Great years with Jabari Smith.
Do you remember like the iconic Jabari Smith moment?
Didn't he have like some crazy dunk?
That's not what I'm remembering.
Oh, no.
So I could be blending, and maybe the text line or YouTubers will correct me, but I know it was the playoffs for sure. Mm-hmm. They were playing Minnesota. It was at Arco. Mm-hmm. I believe it was the game in which Peeler. I could be blending things, but I'm thinking about the Peeler and Garnett fight, like where they actually, Peeler was his former teammate, but uppercut him, and their fans were throwing glow sticks anyway. There was a situation where Minnesota got a technical, or maybe those two guys got the technicals, and maybe Peeler was fouled, and Flip Saunders could pick someone from the Kings to shoot free throws. And it's a huge moment. And Jabari Smith wasn't going to play in the series.
Right.
And he calls Jabari Smith, and he comes out and
nails him.
And just the place went nuts.
That was iconic. Yeah. No crumble cookies for anyone.
No, he made him.
In a good way. I didn't know his son's in the league. Look at that.
Yeah.
Circle of life. Let's see. Well, let's go with some Niner audio from Super Bowl. Want to remind you, Jiffy Lube bringing you all of our Super Bowl coverage. We've got Emil. We've got Styles and Watkins leaving today. Emil's already down there. Nate's going to join him. Jay Johnson. We got a whole crew down there. And we got Ryan Leaf joining us at 9:27. Also, quick programming note on the heels of not only the Super Bowl being down there, but also the comments that the Las Vegas mayor made today about the A's and how they should just stay in Oakland and chase their dream there at Howard Terminal. Steve Coffield, who hosts a afternoon show for ESPN Las Vegas, a longtime friend, he's going to join us because let's just ask him, like, what's the...
This could be really developing here.
What is the sense on the ground there, guy? What are your listeners telling you? It'd be interesting to get the mouth from the horse's foot. So we'll talk to him about that. Also, Brock Purdy. Earlier, we played a clip where he can't name the 8 quarterbacks drafted ahead of him. But here's why he chose Iowa State.
Coach Campbell at Iowa State, he had a vision playing in the Big 12 to, change his program and make a name for itself. And all I wanted to do was play Power 5 football, D1, and give myself a shot to fulfill my dreams of playing college football, Power 5. So I took a chance with Campbell. I loved his vision, and he believed in me, and I wanted to go do something for the first time somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You know who else believes in Brock Purdy?
Who's that?
Christian McCaffrey.
I think people forget, he didn't throw a football till training camp this last year. He was rehabbing his elbow, and a year later to be in, the starting quarterback on a Super Bowl team and an MVP is pretty unbelievable. I'm just lucky I get to share the locker room with him, to share the huddle with him. I think we all feel the same way. What he brings as a player, but also what he brings as a teammate.
Wow.
Okay.
That's heavy praise.
Yeah.
You know who else believes in Brock Purdy?
Who else? Debo?
Bartholomew Samuel.
I think Brock has took advantage of every opportunity he had. And, the sky's the limit for him. He's going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to get better around him. And, man, hopefully be one of the greats. His first game coming in, he had 0 reps with the starters, man. And the way he came in that game, and seeing him from then to now, it's just like he's just continued to get better and better week in and week out.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we'll stick with Debo here. That loss in the Super Bowl, he was on that team. That's a big motivator for him.
I mean, it's been driving me ever since. Making the Super Bowl my rookie year, I just think it's just going to keep happening. But in reality, it's not how it works. So you do everything possible to get in these moments and just take advantage of them. I mean, I didn't watch the Super Bowl for like a year and a half after I lost and not lying.
Wow. Okay.
They're
ready.
They should be.
George Kittle, got 2 clips from him. One is what he thinks the Bears should do with their pick. It was just so random I had to play it.
I think what the Bears should do is, personally, I think they should trade back as many picks as they can and build around a guy that they've been trying to build around. Give the guy some actual options. I mean, he has options, but just help him out as much as you possibly can. But build him up as big as you can and trust the kid.
I know we're a long ways away, but we're actually not that long in the big scheme of things. If he wants to, how good is George Kittle going to be in the booth?
He'd be great.
Yeah, he's going to be really
good. He's a lively personality. That's for sure.
If that's where he wants to go. He might also go into the world of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He's dabbled in there, and he dabbled in the world of wrestling a little bit last night.
We're starting off hot, and I love it. That is the question I've been wanting to. Ooh. So it's fun. You see everything online, and everyone's talking about we want Cody, or it's Roman and The Rock. You know what? I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. I like Roman Reigns. The Rock, he coined the term the people's tight end, so I'm indebted to The Rock. Huge fan of him. Honestly, my dream would be like kind of a setup. Roman shows up. I saw this online. Roman shows up, signs a contract. Cody's on the other side. The Rock referees. Wouldn't that be fun and special? Let's make it fun and interesting. That was not my own idea, but I thought it was really cool.
This is a big controversy.
You need a translation.
So hold on. There's a big controversy because everyone. Let's see how close I can get, Jason. Everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see Cody Rhodes face off with Roman Reigns, right? And so at this recent event, Cody Rhodes was in the ring. And he was talking to Roman Reigns, right? And he was like, and they were going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, if you smell, the Rock is. And then everyone freaks out. And then the Rock comes out, and now everybody's worried that it's going to be the Rock and Roman Reigns. But nobody wants the Rock and Roman Reigns. They want Cody Rhodes because he's earned it. And they want Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. And so now there's a thing.
Got about 60% of that right.
What'd I get wrong?
Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble, giving him an option to wrestle whoever he wants at WrestleMania. And then he said that he gave up his spot against Roman Reigns for somebody else, and that's when The Rock came out.
Oh, so
you got most of it right.
So he said he gave up his spot.
Yeah.
Well, if he gave up his spot, what's the deal? Because people are mad that that's what the WWE is making him do.
Yeah. They feel like this is a cover for all of the Vince McMahon terrible news.
Terrible news. Well, covering it by what? Trying to throw The Rock in
by
there?
Putting The Rock in there, who like everybody outside of wrestling already knows who The Rock is. They're like, oh, look at this. But everyone that's been watching wrestling, I'm trying to think of what the comparison would be. It would be, what's your favorite show?
West Wing.
West Wing. It would be that like there's a big presidential election in the West Wing and they have it all set up for Bartlett to win.
Right.
And then it's back and forth with him and the Republican. And then some independents just like, hey, I got a really good chance. And they're like, hey, he's winning all the states right now. Wouldn't you be like, wait, what?
That's
what
not,
are you talking about?
that wouldn't work for me at all. But everybody loves The Rock, right?
Yeah.
So
just not in this situation. Well, then like if you go back to last year, everyone thought Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble.
Uh-huh.
He wrestled Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Everyone thought he was going to beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And then he lost.
Oh.
It's one of those things. Just like, okay, well, they're obviously setting it up for
this. And then they pull, and now they're trying to pull these hijinks. Here's what it sounded like.
I want that title. I want everything, and I am coming for it. I am coming for you, Roman Reigns.
Questionable.
But not at WrestleMania.
Oh, what?
I mentioned taking counsel. Roman, one of the individuals I talked to, he knows you very well.
Uh-oh. Who is it? Who is it? Was that the edit?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Cody Rhodes looks very, very sad. And then they cut out every moment of him looking very sad.
Well, that sucks. Because honestly, here's my exposure to wrestling over the last 5 years. Truly, other than like viral stuff that'll just come across my timeline, I just like seeing when The Rock comes in.
Yeah, it's just the place goes nuts.
I'll go down YouTube rabbit holes for the pot. Like, I just like that part. I just want to see that if you smell a part, then everybody freaks out. Yeah, I like that. That gives me goosebumps. Okay. But then I don't watch anything.
Could you imagine that feeling for The Rock?
I saw a video.
He literally put his arm out to show the goosebumps.
Right? Like, I saw this video a couple weeks ago that was going around of remember Psy, Gangnam Style? And
where he gets
shot up, and it's like 100 billion people lose their ass. Yeah. Right, exactly. And I was like, that I don't know what you do.
Yeah. How are you not fired up from that?
It has to be a palpable sensation having an entire tens of thousands of people all focusing their energy on you. Like they say, like, how could you feel stares?
Mm-hmm.
No, dude, you whether it's real or not. Remember when I carried Faber's, this is a much stupider example. Remember when I carried Faber's belt?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the dummy behind him, right? But when he came out, I was like, California love, and then he walks out, and all of Arco, you literally, I don't know how to describe it. You could feel the stare coming down on him, and maybe it's also a sound thing too, where like everyone's looking at him and screaming, and I'm walking behind the guy, and I'm like, this, I couldn't. And then you have to fight somebody. Like same thing with The Rock.
Incredible.
Like he comes out to all that, and then you have to wrestle.
Yeah.
Or Cy has the Gangnam Style. Like after all of that.
Yeah.
When we come back, we have more sound from the Super Bowl. We're going to talk to Steve Coffield from ESPN Las Vegas. We're going to get, a couple Super Bowl questions, of course. They're hosting it. But then what's going on with the Mayor Goodman saying the A's should go back to Oakland, and how do they feel on the ground there as well? It's just a 1-minute break. We're back with Coffield next.
It started with 32 teams back in September with one goal. Now we're down to the final 2 with a chance to earn the coveted Lombardi Trophy.
It's Super Bowl 58 as the Kansas City Chiefs look to go back-to-back while the San Francisco 49ers seek their 6th Super Bowl title.
Super Bowl 58, Sunday at 3:30 on your home for the NFL. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Chasing Steve Coffield down, which should not be necessary since I've been texting with him the last 10 minutes, but hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he didn't get hit by a bird.
Let's hope not.
Right?
Yeah.
What if he was going to the phone
and a bird hit him?
And
maybe a small one at least.
Yeah, like, and just kind of put him like,
not big bird.
Oh, God. Then it would be over. Well, while we're waiting on him, we got plenty of other stuff, including I've been waiting all day to play this one. Where are you? Here's Steve Coffield texting me saying, call now. Here's so that gives us time for Kadarius Toney.
Okay.
If he's the #1 wide receiver in the league.
Your #1 receiver in this league? Yeah, if I get it. Yeah, if I get the ball, yeah.
Even he laughed at it. If you get the ball, you immediately
I'm going to go with no on that.
Yeah, how about no?
Yeah, if someone asks me, is he? No, he's not.
I could Darius you to say that again. Got him.
Tony.
Joining us right now.
Yeah.
Old friend. Go back to the fighting days when MMA was just backroom brawling, and now he's big time. Now he's basically the media king of Las Vegas. That's what I have to call him. He hosts a show on ESPN Vegas, and nice enough to stoop to our level. It's Steve Coffield. Coffield, it's Dave. It's Jason. Good morning.
What's going on? Sorry about that. I'm king of nothing, but I screwed you guys over a little late. Sorry. We were caught in an interview down here. It's crazy today at Radio Row.
Yeah, so you're on Radio Row. That was the first question. By the way, I thought we had a great segment last week when I came on. And now you're on Radio Row. And how is that hosting the Super Bowl? Because you're basically hosting the Super Bowl.
This whole thing it's incredible. I don't mean to be a cheeseball, but I've been here for 28 years now. And when I first got here doing radio, guys, I mean, we were just so on the outside, so banished from NFL purview. We were the enemy. And I am standing at our set for ESPN Las Vegas, and I'm looking at NFL branded slot machines. my mind is blown. Right? As soon as they had a chance to embrace gambling and make lots of money off of it, they were like, you know what, this public stance that we don't want to be part of Vegas or sports gambling, that is out the window. So slot machines.
Yeah, I don't know, Steve, if like for us, it sounds like this is just a wild week in Vegas, but we could probably say that sentence a lot. So is it any different? Does this feel bigger than any other events there, or is it kind of on par with whenever they have huge festivities going on in Vegas?
Feels bigger. It feels bigger. I mean, keep in mind, we just had F1 here, which I didn't know a whole lot about and still don't. They took over the city, and a lot of it was, road work for like 9 months. But this is bigger. It's the NFL. F1 caters to a certain kind of crowd, very, very high level wine and cheese crowd. I mean, here we're going to get the rich fans are going to be here. Celebrities are going to be here. And then the average person, I mean, we already get, for Super Bowl weekend, we already get on average about 300,000 people who come into town each week. So, I mean, it's going to be that and more. But now you've got all the events around town. There's probably 50-plus parties at all different spots. And if you guys have covered the Super Bowl, the coolest thing here is everything is pretty close, right? I mean, the Las Vegas Strip, up and down is probably 4 miles. You don't have to get in a car and, drive 20 miles in this direction. There's not triple host cities. So it's massive, and you can feel the vibe. We're set up here at Mandalay Bay, which is right across from the stadium. So it's a sweet setup.
Steve Coffield joining us, ESPN Vegas. Great to talk to you about the Super Bowl. We could do that for the whole segment. Have to talk to you, though, about these latest comments from Mayor Goodman and the Goodman between her, she and Oscar. That goes way back in Vegas. And for her to tell I think it was Front Row Sports, and I'm basically quoting here, which is always fun. I think the A's should stay in Oakland and try to make their dream come true. The dream referring to the Howard Terminal. Cofield, you're on. Look, 28 years, as you said, you've seen that city grow from the UFC to the hockey to the Aces to the Raiders, and now you're on the cusp of Major League Baseball. We get everything filtered up here in Northern California, where it's obviously a hot topic. But as a host, as somebody with their finger on the pulse of the fans, are they excited? What is the deal down there?
All right. Well, one, I am inside the sports bubble. So in our bubble, people are not that excited because they know what they're buying into here. They've invested in Major League Baseball, but they've invested in the worst product that Major League Baseball has to offer. Yeah. I think the casual fan is excited at the concept of having a stadium on the Strip, which is a good idea. Excited that they get Major League Baseball. They can root for their favorite teams when they come into town and, buy 2 and 3 game packages. So I think there's a level of excitement, but I think once they get here, it's going to be unlike any other team that's gotten here. First of all, the Raiders in the NFL, foolproof. You're always going to get that sold out because opposing fans will come in. And if the Raiders are ever good, then there's going to be a giant Raider contingent there. The Golden Knights are like the standard for expansion franchises, and they came here and they won from the get-go. And when they did win a cup, they kept, investing and firing people and improving. So they set the standard. Now, you guys know the problem with the A's, they're not committed to winning. And I think there'll be a honeymoon period here for about 3 years with the new stadium, with baseball, especially with older fans. If you don't win in Vegas, though, after 3 years, I'm telling you, it's going to be 3 years. After 3 years, if they don't win, locals are not going down to the Strip. I do not buy that, Royals fans and Rays fans and Twins fans are going to come here for 3-game sets to a tune of 10,000 people, for a weekday series. So, dudes, it's a weird vibe. It's a very weird vibe because everything you've seen about the A's is still going on with the secrecy, a lack of organization. We don't have a plan. They picked a site that's bizarro. It's only about 33 acres, and they've only got about 10 to build a stadium on. So they're off to a rough start. Now, this could all be great at the finish line. Then they told baseball behind the scenes that they could have a payroll here of $170 million. All right. I mean, that's a big jump up from where they are. Huh. But guys, this is also weird. The stadium won't be done here until 2028. So we're going to watch our Major League Baseball team play in Sacramento or Salt Lake. We get no tax revenue out of that. It's just the whole thing just seems like it's super rushed. And they've been fighting Oakland for 20 years. Why is this rushed now?
Yeah, and Steve, to me, it seems like there's so many potential ways this can fall apart. If you were to bet on this, I mean, do you see this coming to fruition? Do you think the A's will really get it done and happen in Las Vegas.
Then you can bet because you're in Vegas. It's
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I'll say I'm 75% sure. So a couple of the hitches. First of all, they've got to get money to cover the rest of the cost because we lent them $380 million, which eventually they got to pay back, but they got like 30 years to pay it back. They are locked into that Tropicana site. So if there's any issue with that Tropicana site, if Bally's drops out, the bill and the 380 and then all the tax benefits are tied to the Trop site. If it's not the Trop site and they try to switch it, then the whole process starts again. And now people are more tuned in to the process because they kind of did the same thing on the legislative level they did with the Raiders, where they rushed it through in about 10 days and people are like, what the hell just happened? We don't have all the details. So yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. I'll give you a good example. They picked the site at the Wild Wild West, which is just off the strip on Tropicana, just to the west. It's a beautiful piece of property. I think they had like 55 acres, another 55 they could have purchased. They went into an agreement temporarily with Station Casinos. Dave, you know about Stations, the Fertitas, and former ownership of UFC, and they're one of the kings of local Las Vegas casinos. Well, they're an anti-union shop. The culinary union came in, and behind the scenes, they're like, "No, you're not partnering with Station Casinos," and it ended. So there's politics in town. If something happened, like I said, with Bally's and that Trop property, I don't know. I do think they're starting to fish around. I don't know if you guys. I'm not going to rip on Sacramento. It's actually a bigger market, but I don't know if you guys want Major League Baseball. If Major League Baseball wants to be there, I think Salt Lake is a real threat, and they could be the city that beats you guys out for the 25 to 27 hosting. I think that's the X factor in this thing now. If Major League Baseball sees some problems in Vegas, they might just be like, "Hey, you might want to go to Salt Lake. We were going to expand there anyway."
Well, that's the thing. I think it's a different question. I, for one, came out against the A's coming here just because with everything.
I saw it. That was brilliant. What a great take.
Honestly, like with what happened with the Kings, can't do it. Now, if the A's were leaving for sure and Sacramento had a chance to permanently have the A's, I think that's a different conversation. But let's close here. You tell me. If you're polling your audience, and I know you're in the bubble, but still, that's who we're talking about, and they had a choice between having the A's and John Fisher come or waiting 4 years and getting expansion and a different owner, I'm guessing they'd go expansion, right?
I think it'd be 90%.
Yep.
Yeah, because even if they don't know what that means, they know the Golden Knights were an expansion team. So, building a team here and not bringing one in from another market with all the warts and bad ownership, I think it would be 90%. That was what we said the whole time on our shows. Like some of the reps of the A's, some of the extended owners of the A's were like, "Oh, this is it. This is your chance or else." And we're like, "What are you talking about? This is the hottest market in the country.
Yeah.
The NBA is coming here eventually. This is going to sound crazy. We can now be picky. We don't have to take a team on Major League Baseball's timeline."
Well, look, that's why you're the best in the business. Say show 3 to 6 on ESPN Vegas with Adam Hill, who hates me on Twitter. Also kind enough to join us live from Radio Row. We'll be talking, I'm sure, about this again, brother. But as always, appreciate your time, especially on short notice. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry I was late. See you guys.
That's all right. That's Steve Coffield, ESPN Vegas. It's interesting, Jason. We'll take a break. When we come back, Ryan Leaf, former NFL quarterback, ESPN analyst. He'll join us next.
The Sacramento Kings return home to host the Detroit Pistons.
Fox digs into the paint. He twists. He launches. He scores.
It's the Kings and Pistons.
Wednesday at 7 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Tuesday. A quieter start out there. Might see a brief shower with the morning dry, but today is expected overall to be a dry day with partly to mostly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The presidential primary election is March 5th. All registered voters will receive their party-specific ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Maida Subaru says yes during the huge President's Day sales event on Now. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to awesome lease offers. Yes to great trade-in values. Yes to huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Subarus in stock, ready to go. Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, Ascent, WRX, and more. All with huge Maida Says Yes savings. The President's Day sales event is on. Stop by Maida Subaru today or visit MaidaSubaru.com and click the Unlock Maida Says Yes savings button to unlock your savings on the card you want today. Whatever you choose, you're going to save big during the President's Day sales event on Now at Maida Subaru. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to attractive lease offers. Yes to exceptional trade-in values. Yes to great selection. Over 300 new and certified pre-owned Subarus available. The huge President's Day sales event on Now at Maida Subaru. MaidaSubaru.com.
Approved premium credit 1.9 financing on new 2024 Outback.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Someone somewhere may have told you that you can't mark your ball with a tee. Well, Golf Monthly's Jeremy Elwood looked into that. Since 2019, the definition of a ball marker is an artificial object when used to mark the spot of a ball to be lifted, such as a tee, a coin, an object made to be a ball marker, or another small piece of equipment. Urban Myth says that sticking a tee in the green is testing the surface, and they're pretty sure there's a rule against that. But if you think about it, sticking a tee in the ground tells you no more or less than what you'd learn from fixing one or two pitch marks on the green before you putt, and we all know we're encouraged to do that. To be fair, there is more of a chance of being asked to move the tee if you use one instead of a flat marker, as there's more likelihood of a ball being stopped or deflected with the tee. Not illegal, just inconvenient. By the way, the definition says it must be an artificial object, so don't be tempted to use a leaf, a twig, or a stone, as that will cost you a penalty stroke. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
All right, we're back. Thanks to Coffield out there in ESPN Las Vegas. Joining us now, I'm legit excited for this. I'd be excited to, we had Sean Salisbury on earlier, and to be able to talk to somebody about the Super Bowl who actually was under center in the National Football League. That's exciting. I'm also excited. I was talking to my wife about this interview last night. She goes, "You're talking to Ryan Lee. Are you going to bring up like the problems and stuff?" And I'm like, well, look, I've never talked to Ryan in my life, but I've watched this guy go from where he got picked in the draft to what he went through to being called a bust by everybody and their mother and weaponizing it in the best way possible, where people that have gone through things can look to him and his rise in sports media and use that as a weapon themselves. So I've never spoken to you, Ryan, but I'm just going to bet you don't get tired of people bringing up what you've been through, because I think it underlines where you are right now. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't mind being asked the questions. I mean, I think it's important to be open and transparent. I think that's where one of my biggest problems was. I wasn't. I thought it was weakness to be vulnerable and transparent. And it turns out it's maybe one of the biggest strengths that I've ever learn to develop. So no, I don't mind being asked questions to talk about it. What I do mind is being talked down to. And so that's usually where I clap back, whether that's on social media or with other people who are like that. And it tends to mostly be projectionary, right? They're projecting how they're feeling and onto you. I think for the most part, a lot of people are pissed because, I seem to have everything to lose it and to then, go to this dumpster fire of a place and then come back and get the life of my dreams. I think people are a little pissed about that too. And so they tend to project when they want to talk about it. They think that what has happened in your past is your legacy or your identity. And it isn't. It's what you are now, and what you do moving forward is what makes you who you are. And so that's got to give you a lot of hope knowing that.
Yeah, I can't imagine, Ryan, that challenge for you on that level of when you're talking about social media. I think anybody to whatever degree, if they have 100 followers, gets some sort of clap back. For you that's been famous, that has a name, that's still in the limelight. How do you handle that when that's coming your way?
Well, I think my wife would rather me not engage, but I feel like it's good practice. I tell my brother's a comedian. My middle brother's a comedian. He's a writer, he's a director, he's an actor. He's he seemingly feels like, and I think most people think he's the funniest Leaf brother in the family, but I'm telling you, I'm the funniest Leaf brother in the family. And I'm pretty witty. I'm pretty witty with those things. Also it's like the B Rabbit thing from 8 Mile. Like I own everything. So you don't have any ammunition. So if you think you're going to come at me with the, hey, why am I talking to this junkie felon? And I'm like, hey, it's junkie 7-time convicted felon here, okay? They don't know how to accept it because people are usually not that forthcoming to throw everything out on their sleeve. Once you like who you see in the mirror, I don't care where you're at in life. Once you like the guy you see in the mirror, you're okay with all the scars and everything and what everybody knows. And my story is very public. So one of my mentors told me, and I thought this was very meaningful. He said, as loud and as out there and as public as your downfall was, your recovery has to be just as loud, if not louder, to be hope and be that lighthouse for people who still struggle. And he was exactly right.
Well, last thing on that is Ryan Leaf joins us, and we're going to talk football because he's a hell of an analyst as well. 3 of our closest friends here are Sean Salisbury, who had a very public run-in with ESPN, Rex Chapman, who had the opioid issue and the criminal issue, and Ron Artest, and we all know what happened with them. That's 3 examples right there. And I would put you in there, Ryan, of people that were at or near the top, different levels, ran into something, and didn't quit. Didn't I mean, I don't know if you sulked or felt sorry for yourself. I'm sure you did. That's natural, but were able to gather the strength to come back. And just to put a bow on the whole thing, since it's the first time we talked, I'm not trying to take away from people that have had air quote perfect lives and present themselves that way. But I think there is something, and I'm betting you felt this quite a bit with the community, with the people you're around, that they can identify with that. It's tough to identify with somebody who can throw a ball 80 yards and who can run a 4.2 40. But to identify with these folks that have been down in the dumps and who have managed to recover and beyond create this life for yourself that's fantastic, people identify with that, and people love that, quite frankly, Ryan.
Yeah, I tell this story when I'm speaking all the time. Like, I walk into a room, and if Tom Brady's in the room, probably out of everybody in the room, I'm probably as close to a peer to him as anybody. I played in the NFL. We played against each other in the Rose Bowl. In fact, he couldn't even get on the field that day when we played Michigan. And I still look at him like, that dude's perfect, and I look around the room at everybody else, and I'm like, yeah, I'm this flawed human being, just like everybody else in here, and just trying to be better every day. And that's why I think it's more relatable. Like, I look at him and they look at me, I'm like, oh yeah, you're a screw up. Yeah, I mean, I'm a screw up too. Let's we know how to commiserate around that aspect of things. But it's hard to when you place these guys on pedestals and they become something larger than life, knowing that they're real people. And it's weird to see. If you want a good, I think, social experiment, Netflix just put out this great documentary on the night that all the pop stars got together and
yes,
sang,
we are the world.
And
yes.
I think what you find out in that moment of the most famous and interesting people on the planet when it came to celebrities and entertainment, like having that documented throughout a whole night, you found out who like was really egocentric and who was just were normal people. And it wouldn't be, my wife and I walked away and like Diana Ross at the end, I'm like, the whole brand of Diana Ross was that she was this diva her whole life.
Right.
And like, she was the most down to earth human being when it was all said and done. And you just forget that when you're shown something and told something by so many people all the time. So yeah, I think that what I went through was no different than anybody else has gone through. Mine was just very public. That's all. Everybody knew about it. Everybody knew when I got in trouble, and it probably saved my life, because most people who go through what I went through do it in the shadows and in the darkness, and they're never seen or heard from again. And I was forced to address it and make a change or continue down that path where I would disappear too. So I'm really grateful human being you got in front of you right now.
Amen.
Incredible perspective, really, from Ryan Leaf here. Former QB, you're still an analyst as well. Dave and I love to talk about QBs. We love to talk about Brock Purdy, and there's labels on him, right or wrong. But I'd be curious, Ryan, what you see when you watch Brock Purdy play the quarterback position.
I don't get the skeptics. I don't understand it. I know how hard it is
God bless you.
to play that position. I think he's incredible. And I'm done arguing with people about it. You're not going to convince them. So I think that's the first thing, is there's an acceptance to it that you're not going to convince somebody that Brock Purdy is not an elite quarterback in this league because of where he was drafted. And that means people didn't scout him the right way, apparently. And no one's going to admit the fact that they didn't grade him the right way. There's a draftism to it. And so this is the way I'd say it. I say, you're an idiot. You don't know ball. And we're not going to talk about it anymore. And I said, if you're going to label him that, then you have to label Joe Montana it too, right? Joe Montana is a product of the West Coast offense and Bill Walsh. He was surrounded by extreme talent. He was a third-round draft pick. So, it wasn't him. It was Jerry Rice. It was John Taylor. It was Dwight Clark. It was Brett Jones. It was Roger Craig, who was the original CMC. All of those things you can attribute to that. In fact, there's no way that Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel are anywhere near what Jerry Rice was. So it doesn't fit its purpose in terms of what you're trying to accomplish there. He's an elite quarterback. He has a chance to win a championship. If he doesn't get hurt last year in Philly, I don't know what that game looks like. It could look a lot different. But he has a chance to win a championship, and he's gone back to 2 consecutive NFC championships. I made a big deal about Patrick Mahomes going to 6 consecutive. You look at the landscape of the NFC and what John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have been able to put together. For as far out there as you think that getting to 6 championship games was such a huge achievement, which it is, Brock Purdy has every chance with the team that he's on, and because of how great he's played in his first 2 years, to continue that kind of effort and to put themselves in that position.
Well, we're talking to Ryan Leaf before we get your pick for the game, we can kind of tie this all together. Your audience is Northern California right now. We run the Niners games. Obviously, you're talking to a lot of Niner fans. It's interesting, Ryan. We spent a good part of the interview talking about your story, about your comeback, about others with similar types of comebacks. And it's. Do you ever step back at this whole Purdy thing? Because I haven't been able to put my finger on it. You've got Mr. Irrelevant, literally last player picked in the draft, who is as humble as they come, who seems to have zero ego whatsoever. He's a walking Disney movie. And I've never seen, whether it's media or fans, right? It almost seems like there's this group that are rooting more for his failure because it will then support their narrative. You're in the business at a much higher level. What the hell is going on with this thing around Brock?
I think that, the 24-hour news cycle and everybody presenting and contributing to content. Sometimes people are just trying to be, argumentative, and sometimes I think that, we're arguing with nobody. I mean, actually, who's making those conversations, who's doing that? Most of the people I've talked to, especially former players, are very adamant around the idea that Brock Purdy is an elite quarterback, and Kyle Shanahan puts him in good positions and he makes the throws and is a catalyst for this team. So I don't know. I think there is a lot to the concept of the fact that the people that are supposed to know what they're doing in terms of draft grades and everything like that, if he is the elite quarterback, he was a 4-year starter at Iowa State, started as a freshman, went up against my alma mater, Washington State, and Gardner Minshew in that unbelievable Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
I knew how good he was then, and I watched him go through college in the Big 12. I mean, he was incredible. He was their leader. He was a great football player. And when Brian Greasy had an opportunity to walk into John Lynch's office and Kyle Shanahan's and say, hey, if you're looking for a quarterback late, I can't tell you or speak to more about this young man from Iowa State. And that's exactly what they did. And so I think it's a great story. I think it's the Kurt Warner story. And I love Kurt, and I love what he was able to accomplish and how good he was at playing the quarterback position. And I think Brock Purdy is just, you're just born to play quarterback. And there was a moment where he had that reflection in college where he said, okay, I'm right where I'm supposed to be at, and I want to get to this level. I think for the biggest misconception on my part is that I worked my tail off to get to the NFL. But when I got there, I thought, oh, my head and shoulders talent is just going to carry me through. When you get to that level, everybody's talented. You have to improve. You have to scratch it out and go, what was I doing when I was in junior high to get where I needed to get, right? My dad was waking me up at 6 a.m. to go throw routes and shoot hoops before school started. Why wouldn't you do that? It's a start over. And Brock Purdy started over. And he has gotten excessively better over the last 2 years at his profession. So he is not where the scouts and the people had him graded 2 years ago. He's where we all see him. And if you were giving him a grade now, and if you were somebody who's a scout out there that does that for the draft grade aspect of things, regrade him. Go watch the film from the last 2 years, watch the improvement, and grade him what you would grade him going into the draft. And I guarantee you, in the eyes of all those guys that make a ton of money, projecting who is going to be a first rounder, would come back and tell you he is a first round caliber quarterback in terms of what a grade would show out now.
Ryan, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I know we're way over your time. So real quick, who's your pick? Chiefs, Niners, Chiefs this Sunday, Las Vegas.
Having said all that, right?
I hear you.
You can have a bad game. I mean, you can have bad games, and guess who makes you have bad games? Steve Spagnuolo. He made Lamar Jackson look ordinary, and Lamar was one of the best football players in all football this year. That team was. He's having a hell of a year. He's got guys that are dogs this year, and unfortunately, Humunga being out early in the year, that has been such an impact. I don't think it's been talked about enough on the side of the defense for the 49ers losing him. He was the Kyle Hamilton on that defense. He could play up at the line of scrimmage. He could be back in the safety position, making plays that's sizable, especially in the run game. And where they've been gutted is running. So I would expect Isaiah Pacheco to get 25-plus carries and Patrick Mahomes to be very similar to what he was a week ago, where he's throwing everything within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, allowing Kelsey to do what he needs to and take shots when he needs to. Unfortunately, the Chiefs are they're just too good. They're just too good. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in a tight one in this one, unfortunately, for you 49ers fans out there.
I don't blame you. I hope you're wrong, but I don't blame you at all. We've been saying all week, don't know how the Niners are the favorites. Ryan, such an honor, such a pleasure to talk to you. You really, truly are an inspiration, and you're a hell of an analyst beyond all that. And if my spies are correct, you also have reason to get more bottles of Excedrin around the house. I believe you welcomed in a little baby leaf a few days ago, and we want to say congratulations to you and yours for that.
I don't know what I was thinking. She's going to be I'm going to be 65 when she graduates high school, but
hey, baby,
I suppose I had to figure out life on life's terms before I started bringing them into this world.
Good for you.
Luckily, I got an amazing partner. She's just over here. We're swapping on feeding duties here every 2 hours. So living in a lot of diapers and spit up, but I couldn't ask for anything more. I don't know.
Okay, so you're still completing passes. Congratulations. And good luck on not sleeping for a while. And thanks so much for joining us.
You bet, guys. Have a great day.
All right, take care. That's awesome. That's Ryan Leaf. I was looking forward to that very, very much. Chris is, I'm going to wait for directions from Chris. We are all over the board here. We will take a break right now. When we come back, celebrity birthdays and maybe a crosstalk. We'll see you next.
Catch Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Styles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like Flex Steel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Toyota's President's Day sales event is on. Now is your chance to experience legendary Toyota reliability on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Save big with the best deals of the year. Right now, get $1,000 bonus cash when you lease a 2024 Camry. Or when you finance with Toyota, get $1,000 bonus cash on the all-new 2024 Grand Highlander gas model. Don't miss these President's Day deals and more. Get to your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credits. The time ends 3/4/24.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy our world-class German blade factory. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's. So thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try soon. Harry's is available online and in-store at a retailer near you. Get a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/news. That's harrys.com/news. Or check us out at your local Costco for a price you can't find anywhere else. Just look for the Chrome Razor with 13 blade refills at your local Costco. You can't miss it. Exclusive to Costco members.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit. The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. As I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
All right, well, we went a bit long with old Ryan Leaf, and that means our final crosstalk, perhaps ever, with Styles and Watkins.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
Sure, I know.
Right.
If they come out alive from Vegas.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Yeah.
They're going to Vegas. Today's getaway day for you guys. How? What time you flying out?
4:20.
Yeah, 4:20, 4:30. Bro, say 4:30.
Yeah.
So they're going to have a hotel named after them after they take
They
down
really are.
Vegas.
It's going to be incredible.
They really, really are. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Zon's in. That's what it'll be. That's the hotel,
You
right?
know, well, there's actually a story about Vrabel and how his Burtness is scaring the owners.
Yeah, we deal with that all the time, guys. You know what? Tall, big people, we're people too. You know?
You don't really.
I'm not
What are you
6.
talking
I'm not
about?
I'm not a footer.
I don't know what Chris wants.
That's kind of surprising to me because
I'm
I
a
feel like
borderline. No.
I feel like you're in our world.
I've
a little.
always said 5'10",
Wow.
5'11".
He wants to
I've
be
never
with
once
us.
said
He's
6
with
foot.
us.
Wow. Okay.
Birthday's brought to you by Crumble Cookies.
Happy birthday to Axl Rose.
Axel is 64.
63.
68.
We have a correct answer. Carmichael Dave, 62. Happy birthday to Rick Astley.
69.
67.
71.
63.
Not in the right decade. 58.
Okay.
Happy birthday to Chris Humphreys. Could have been a Kardashian.
Oh, yeah, he was, wasn't he? He is 41.
42.
38.
37.
39. Happy birthday to Tom Brokaw, America's newsman.
Oh, Tom Brokaw, NBC News, courage. He is
74.
78.
78.
81.
84.
84.
And lastly, Kevon Looney of the Warriors.
I know this one.
Oh, Kevon is 29. 31.
No.
He is 33 years
No.
old.
He's 28.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah. All right. Lots of football
Table.
talk. Getaway day for you guys.
That's right.
We expect lots of updates, crosstalks, and everything while you're down there.
Yep.
Gotta have it.
Have fun. Styles and Watkins next for Chris, for Jason, and everybody. Light the beam someday, would you? Bye-bye. Now.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas.